All right. All right. When do you want to kick this bad boy off?
It's up to you, Binner.
3 minutes?
Sure.
All right. Actually, we got a lot to talk about. Let's fire it up right now. Live from Rapid City, across the parking lot, Post 22 Baseball is on the air. It is rivalry night tonight here in Rapid City, featuring the two biggest American Legion programs, the Rapid City Post 320 Stars and your Post 22 Hard Hats. And with that being said, we say good evening and we welcome you inside our press box here at Pete Lean Memorial Field. Mark Benetti alongside you in the broadcast booth, bringing you all 9 innings of rivalry action tonight here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. For tonight's rivalry broadcast, such a special occasion needs special people to execute it, and with me tonight, reunited for the first time since the 2015-16 hockey season, is the head coach of the Rapid City Rush, Daniel Tatro, who is a former Toronto Blue Jays prospect, for all those questioning right now why I have a hockey head coach in our press box. But, Coach, great to have you with us here, and a great rivalry matchup for the two of us to enjoy tonight.
It's good to be back with you here, Binner, in the air, and calling baseball my favorite sport. Many people think maybe it's hockey, but baseball is my favorite. I love watching it, and especially love playing it a long time ago. I played my last year when I was 14 years old, and had to choose between hockey or baseball. Went the hockey route, but baseball's still in my heart, and Thanks for having me.
It turned out to be a great choice for you. You're a head coach. You're a champion. You've been drafted. You've played in the American Hockey League. You've been in a couple of NHL training camps. So I wouldn't say that was necessarily a bad choice.
Not a bad choice at all. No, I can't complain.
Now, this is not your first rodeo calling baseball with me. You got a chance to help us out last summer, and this also isn't your first rodeo watching Post 22. So what's been your perception of Post 22 the last couple of summers you've had a chance to watch these young gentlemen?
Well, not only Post 22, but Post 320 here. They've got a good ball team as well. So this is just fantastic baseball, especially for the local people here in Rapid City. There's a great crowd tonight, and it's good baseball. These young kids are very talented, and it's fun to watch. So we got a good crowd here tonight with almost perfect weather for baseball. No wind, sunny, green grass with all the rain, and it's just fun to watch these young kids perform.
Obviously, the gentleman to watch out for Post 22 is number 22, Cooper Bowman, at the shortstop position, who committed this last summer to play college baseball at the University of Hawaii. And you got a chance to watch Cooper last year, and what an insane talent he is.
No, great talent. He can hit, he can field, he can do it all. And congratulations on him going to the University of Hawaii. Not a bad place to play or live.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups for today's rivalry showdown. The Hardhats are batting in the top halves of our 9 innings tonight against the Post 320 Stars. Leading off for Post 22 is number 26, Mason Messenger. Had a little bit of a number change here for this game. He's out at second base. Batting second is number 13, Connor King, the left-handed batter, will patrol center field. Batting third is the aforementioned number 22, Cooper Bowman, out at the shortstop position. And in cleanup tonight is number 23, Jack Sorensen, and he's out at first base. Batting fifth is number 30, Jace Caldwell, the designated hitter tonight for the Hardhats. Batting sixth is number 15, Zach Sumption, and he'll patrol right field. Batting seventh is number 21, Matt Hegry, in the hot corner at third base. Batting eighth is number 25, Ryan Schmidt, the backstopper and catcher. And rounding out the batting order in the 9th spot for the Hardhats, getting his first start defensively in the field, is number 11, Branson Keel, and he will patrol left field. On the mound tonight for the Hardhats is Dylan Ritchie. He leads this team in innings pitched with 17 and a third innings under his belt. This will be his 5th game of the season and his 4th by virtue of a start. He has a 1-0 record under his belt with a 1.21 ERA, a team leading 20 strikeouts to 11 bases on balls, 2 hit batsmen as well. And when you look at a guy like Dylan here, Tets, he's obviously the leader in strikeouts for a reason. He's got fantastic velocity. His free passes also leads the team with 11 on bases on balls and 2 hit batsmen. So 13 free base runners to 20 strikeouts. You'd like to see that ratio shift a little more on the K side of things.
Yeah, you want to throw strikes and you want to keep the ball down. And, that's a lot of strikeouts for a young kid, 20 strikeouts. Maybe you want to cut the base on balls down, but overall this kid throws strikes and can strike guys out when needed.
And on the flip side of that ratio, you take a look at 20 strikeouts in 17 and a third innings, so over a strikeout per inning. You got to like that consistency.
Well, especially when guys are on base in scoring position, second or third base with 2 outs, you need that big strikeout, or even with 1 out, he can deliver that strikeout. So it's huge.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for the Post 320 Stars. They are batting in the home half of our 9 innings of regulation tonight. Leading off is number 8, Zane Sally, and he will patrol center field. Batting second is number 7, Camden Naiman, and he will patrol right field. Batting third is number 11, Ian Crump. He's out at the shortstop position. And in cleanup is number 21, Carter Stonecipher. He's out at first base. Batting fifth is number 18, Dawson Pentecoff. He's going to be the starting pitcher tonight for the Stars. Batting sixth is number 12, Wyatt Hunt. He will be the backstopper and catcher for Mr. Pentecoff. Batting seventh is number 2, Devin Jacobs. He is at second base. Batting eighth is number 9, Grayson Skinner. He's in the hot corner at third base. And rounding out the batting order in the 9th spot for the Stars is number 6, Eric Gonzalez. He is patrolling left field. And as we mentioned, Dawson Pentecoff, he is pitching. And Tets, he's right in there in the meat of the order. And at this level, especially at the high school and the American Legion level, as a pitcher, you have to be called upon every now and then to be able to hit and be an offensive threat, be just as good defensively and with your arm. And that's Dawson Pentecoff's game right now. If he's in the 5 spot, this gentleman can clearly hit.
No, you can pitch, you can hit, especially at this age. You want to play all positions basically, and if you're on the mound pitching, throwing strikes, getting strikeouts, and then going to hit, getting big hits. You're involved in the game, and that's the way it should be at a young age.
So at such a young age, when you were playing at 14, where did you play? Did you play every position, or was there somewhere that you honed your skill?
Well, I was a very good pitcher at a young age. I was such a big kid, So and then shortstop, obviously, your best athletes. As a kid, you play shortstop because that's where you get the most ground balls. So that or the hot corner at third, you always need a good arm. I had a good arm, so obviously, when you're a good athlete, you're either a pitcher or shortstop.
And you were obviously a very gifted athlete at that. Not only did you go on to play professional hockey, as we all knew, but you threw a no-hitter as well.
Yeah, I did. Manitoba games. I'm from Manitoba. We had the big games there, summer games, and I threw a no-hitter in the finals for the gold medal. So pretty great moment, and, something I'll always cherish.
A no-hitter in a championship round. What are you, Don Larson?
No, the one thing I loved about pitching, though, it's a one-on-one, with the hitter, and, and they're guessing what you're going to throw. And, I just love that intensity I had on the mound. And it's more of a personal thing. It's not, you're so focused on the batter, and that's about it. So, I was real competitive and wanted to strike out everyone.
And we had Steve Nitzel, also from the Rush front office, with us last week calling some baseball, and he's a veteran of the game, played in college at Oregon State, and that's something that he relishes so much about the game of baseball, is that up until the ball's put in play, it's a one-on-one matchup, it's mental, it's physical, and it's everything is advertised.
Yeah, and not only that, if you're in the field, you got to be prepared for every pitch, and you got to know who's on base and all that. So it's a thinking game. A lot of fans, they think it's just boring and nothing's going on, but as a player, you're always thinking, and it's a great strategy game.
It's basically a moving chess match.
Yes, it is, and and that's what I love about the sport too.
And it's not only with who's on and who's up, it's who's coming up, who can you substitute into the lineup. From the managerial perspective, it's just as tough mentally.
No, there's a lot going on in the game of baseball, and it's such a fun sport, especially when there's perfect weather like this.
Perfect weather and rivalry action too. What did you like so much about rivalry action, whether it's baseball or hockey? What did you like so much about the rivalry game?
Well, you play against each other so many times, so you want to win every game against your rivals. It gets pretty heated, it gets intense, and it's also bragging rights as well there, Binner. So.
Bragging rights, indeed. Both of these teams, they've been playing for quite some time, and if my memory serves me correctly from the conversations I had with my former broadcast partner, Tom Rudabush, Post 320 has only beaten Post 22 once in their existence. So there's a ton of bragging rights on the line as well for the Hard Hats to continue that winning tradition here against their arch rival.
Yeah, you don't want to let off the gas pedal, and you want to keep winning those games. But for 320 here, they're the underdogs. There's no pressure. So, and I know they've improved a lot this season. So it should be a great game tonight.
For both teams, it's a new coaching staff. For Post 320, Coach Downs has now taken over. Ironically enough, Coach Poole, who was the head coach of the Starts for the last few seasons, is sitting in the Post 22 dugout as one of the assistant coaches. So how about a wrinkle to that battle there?
Well, I bet they've got a bet going on the side, that's for sure. But they're competitors, and they want to beat each other. So. Should be intense tonight, and should be a good game.
And on the Post 22 side of things, Coach Kelvin Torvey coming in as his first year as the head coach of the Hard Hats, an alumnus of the program, which is the most important thing that stands out about him. And not only that, a former major leaguer as well, having once played with the Minnesota Twins and with the New York Mets for a pair of seasons as well. So a lot of experience and a lot of high baseball IQ sitting in that dugout right there.
Well, especially playing in the major leagues, I don't care if it's only one game, but just to make it to the show is a big honor, and you got to be real talented. You got to have a lot of knowledge for the game, and he's going to be a great teacher for these young kids.
Both of the starting lineups are being called right now. We're halfway through the Post 22 starting lineup, and I believe we're about to announce some of the reserves in just a few moments as well. Coach, what expectations do you have of this particular rivalry matchup, the first of two to be played in as many weeks?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be a slugfest or a defensive battle, so it's going to come up to pitching. Everything revolves around pitching in the game of baseball. If you get good pitching, you're tough to beat. So we'll see what happens. It's going to depend on the pitchers.
And it should be a fantastic matchup as well, folks. So we're going to take a step aside. When we come back, both lineups will be announced for this rivalry showdown between Post 320 and Post 22. We'll have the performance of the United States National Anthem and be all all set for first pitch. Rivalry showdown, the Stars and the Hardhats coming up in just a few moments. You are listening to Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Rapid City, and you're also watching it live on the internet on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hardhats Baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. We are moments away from first pitch between the Post 320 Stars and your Post 22 Hardhats. It is rivalry night here in Rapid City, the first of two rivalry showdowns to be played in as many weeks. Next week, both of these teams will take each other on in an all-anticipated rematch. The Stars and the Hardhats fueling this continuous Rapid City rivalry. And again, next week, Battle of the Ball Fields. It's sponsored by Farmers Union, and a canned food challenge between Post 22 and Post 320 is happening, and it all benefits Feeding South Dakota. So come on, bring out a non-perishable food item to the game next week as both of these teams resume their annual rivalry. Dawson Pentecoff has finished throwing his warm-up pitches. He will take on the Post 22 Hardhats, top of the order, with Mason Messenger, the second baseman, Connor King, the left-handed hitting center fielder, and Cooper Bowman, the standout shortstop, due up. Defensive alignment for the Stars features Pentecoff on the mound. He's paired up with his battery mate and catcher, Wyatt Hunt. At first is Carter Stonecipher. At second is Devin Jacobs. At shortstop is Ian Crump. And in the hot corner at third is Grayson Skinner. Left to right in the outfield, Eric Gonzalez, Zane Sally, and Camden Naiman. Moments away from first pitch, and I'm joined always with the head coach of the Rapid City Rush, Daniel Tatro, who was commenting earlier on the weather. Tets, just under 80 degrees, the sun's starting to set. You can't get anything better than this.
Unbelievable, and the grass is so green with all the rains we've had, and it's just beautiful weather. Sold-out crowd, too. Great crowd tonight. So.
It is packed. Both grandstands are full, Tets.
Well, you know, with weather like this, what do you expect, you know?
Right.
This is awesome. And then I was watching Pentecost there in warm-up. He's got a great arm. So watch for him on the mound here tonight.
Yeah, those balls were coming out red hot out of the bag. We haven't even started playing. That just amps up this rivalry matchup. You know they're throwing their hard-throwing ace. The Hardhats are going to throw their hard-throwing starter as well. All you can expect from this is just pure fire.
No, yeah, it should be a good start to the game here. And I know Pentecost got the sun right in his face right now.
That's got to mess with the vision of a pitcher a little bit.
A little bit, but you adjust, and that's what warm-up's for.
That is fair. We're still having a conference between our umpires and our coaches, Coach Downs and Coach Torvey of 320 and 22 respectively. Coach Torvey was very happy with his team's effort on Tuesday night, a big 12-1 thrashing of Sturgis on the road. And, Coach, that came right off the heels of a no-hit loss to Cheyenne post 6 on Sunday to end a 3-game series. So with the no-hitter loss especially, you need a game to rebound. 12-1 on 10 hits. I'd say that was a good rebound. What do you think?
Yeah, big rebound, especially after being no hit. I mean, that's rare. And the pitcher for Gillette, you said?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, for Cheyenne.
Cheyenne must have had a heck of a game throwing a no-hitter.
Well,
must be a special talent.
Ryan Andren, he threw 62 pitches. He only struck out one guy. So he was able to induce contact in his defense to carry the rest.
Yeah, you need the defense to come up big, too, to get a no-hitter.
Looks like we're all set and ready to go. Dawson Pentecoff on the mound. Looking into Mason Messenger, who's playing second base tonight for the Hardhats. Our head umpire has called to play ball, and here we go. First pitch from Pentecoff to Messenger is at the letters for ball one, and we have officially started at 7:02 tonight. Messenger batting .214 coming into this matchup. This will be his 6th game of the season in which he has seen the batter's box. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed on a pitch that broke down and away, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike.
That's a nice pitch right there. It looked like a slider.
Pentecoff back on the rubber as Messenger looks right back at him. Pentecoff, a fireballing righty here, deals his 1-1. Pitch is swung on, and it's hit right back to Pentecoff on the mound. He comes into field, and his throw to first is in time for the first out.
Good play by the pitcher there. Nice, calm, and cool. Got the ground ball right to first base. You don't want to panic in those situations. It was in between kind of a bunt, swing. But he was calm and cool and delivered his throw right to the first baseman.
Connor King, the left-handed hitting center fielder, comes up. Batting .283 coming into this matchup. He's batted in all but one game. No, he's batted in every game this season. My apologies. First pitch is swung on, and it's ripped into the gap between first and second and into right for a base hit. So Connor King gets things started for the Hardhats with a 1-out single. And now that'll bring us to the standout shortstop, Cooper Bowman.
That was a great hit by Connor King, right in between the first and second baseman. You know what I like about Connor? No batting gloves. Like Vladdy Guerrero Sr. back in the day.
Vladdy Guerrero Sr., Jorge Posada?
Yes, no batting gloves.
No batting gloves for him either. Cooper Bowman wears batting gloves, but you're not going to hold it against him,
no.
Right? He has a man on first and 1 out here in the top of the first. Scoreless between the Stars and the Hardhats. The first of 2 rivalry showdowns in as many weeks. From the stretch, a check down to first, not there in time. King is back. He scored 12 runs on the season, so you know when he gets on base, Coach, he can knock himself in as well.
He looks like a speedster as well, so he's a threat on the base pads.
King takes his lead off at first. Pentecoff gives him a quick glance. And first pitch to Bowman. Misses low and away for ball 1. Cooper Bowman comes into this game batting .353 on the season. Among qualified batters, he leads the team in batting average. .353, also has 7 RBIs. And with King's speed, he could probably knock him in on a solid hit. Check to first, not there in time, and King's back. Ball and no strikes still to count.
Pentecoff's really, you know, keeping an eye on Connor King, at first.
Ball and no strikes to count as Pentecoff is back on the rubber. Looking into Cooper Bowman. Hardhats have a man on with 1 out. Scoreless top of the first. 1-0 pitch. Missed low and inside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. It's always a game of cat and mouse between the base runner and the pitcher.
Always. A lot of strategy involved. This is a steal situation with 1 out.
So 2 balls, no strikes to count here to Bowman. With that man on first and Connor King. 1 out single got him on the base path. Another check to first. King gets some dirt on his jersey, but he's back. And that's got to mess with the batter a bit, too, because it takes him off of his rhythm, expecting pitch after pitch.
Yeah, you just got to stay focused as a hitter.
2 balls, no strikes to count. Pentecoff deals. Called strike at the knees of Bowman, and it's 2 balls and a strike now to the hard hat shortstop.
That's a good pitch on the outside corner, Mark. With 2 balls, you don't want to swing at those, but it was a good pitch.
So now 2-1 the count to Bowman. King again takes his lead off of first. 8th pitch of the game coming up for Pentecoff, and it's going to wait as he checks down to first again. King's back.
A lot of pitch outs to first here. Really worried that King's going to take off for second here.
2 balls and a strike, the count to Bowman. King, a slightly smaller lead off of first, just to be safe. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, and it's chopped foul, third base side. And the count will even up for Bowman at 2-2. Good cut, just a tad bit ahead.
Yes, it was a good cut. 2 strikes here. You got to swing with anything close.
Protection of the plate is very underrated at this level.
And it could be a hit-and-run situation as well, Mark.
With the cleanup hitter coming up, I wouldn't be surprised. Chance to knock in a run. 2-2. Runner thought
hit and run.
Runner thought about going, and it's hitting the left for a base hit. King's on his horse. He's rounding second. He's heading for third. Bowman's going to take advantage of second on the throw. A very well-placed ball for Cooper Bowman. In between short and third, that comes into left. It's a 2-base hit. And now the Hardhats have 2 men in scoring position with 1 out, and that's going to bring up Jack Sorensen.
Yeah, it was a hit and run because he left first base, King did, and it was a great hit right in the hole between third and short.
So back-to-back singles for the Hardhats, and Bowman extends to second on the throw. That's going to bring up Jack Sorensen, 2 men in scoring position, and the Hardhats early are threatening the Stars. Pentecoff now looks into the right-handed hitting Sorensen, batting .325 on the year. First pitch is fouled.
That was a good cut by Sorensen.
No balls and a strike to count. Aggressive, but if you're in a situation like this where you have a chance to knock in 2, look, if you like the first pitch, why not take it?
Yeah, why not? Usually the first one's the best one. As a cleanup hitter here, you're salivating at the opportunity to knock in those runs.
No balls and a strike to count. And Pentecoff deals. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left field. Underneath it is Gonzalez, and Gonzalez is going to make the catch. Tagging up from third and heading home is Connor King, and he will get there safely. It's an RBI sac fly for Jack Sorensen, and the Hardhats have struck first in this rivalry showdown. 1-0 with a man on second and 2 outs here in the top of the first.
Yeah, Sorensen with a great hit there, right to the left fielder. You know, RBI. So he sees the opportunity, and they got the first run on the board.
Bowman stayed at second in the sequence, so a man on second. 2 outs, that's going to bring up Jace Caldwell, the designated hitter. Caldwell batting .282 coming into this matchup. Bowman leads off for second. He goes, and the first pitch is tattooed foul into the shed.
Heads up.
Whew, that could have decapitated someone.
Yes. You got to keep your eye on the ball, not only as a player, but as a fan, just like in hockey.
Right.
Fans got to keep an eye on the puck at all times.
No balls and a strike to the...
Because this kid can swing the bat pretty well. He's a big boy.
Hardhats DH, no balls and a strike.
If anyone hits it over the .415 mark, $100.
I think that's illegal against amateur rules. Here comes the 0-1. Next pitch swung on, hit high in the air, veering off towards right. It looks like it's in foul territory and it's going to drop. I think Caldwell definitely has a second life there. It looks like the right fielder, Tetch, didn't even move for that.
No, probably lost it in the sun. But talking about the 415, I can't believe how far that is. Anyone hit it over there?
Not that I take that back. Zach Solano did last year.
That's a long ways.
That's a very long ways. And then Eric Petrie hit it there the year before that.
Wow.
So every home run that I've seen hit in this building's been to left.
Pedro Serrano couldn't even get there.
No balls, 2 strikes to Caldwell. Man on second, 2 outs. Here in the top of the first, and Caldwell calls time before he sees his 0-2 pitch. Nice little Major League reference. I like it.
Yeah. Favorite movie of all time.
Great drop in, Monty.
Yeah. Well, I talk a little more than Monty.
Yes, you do. I will give you credit there every day. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Pentecoff checks. 0-2, swung on, hit high in the air to shallow left. Coming in from short, calling for it is Crump, and he makes the catch, and that will end the inning. So the Hardhats strike first here at the top of the first. 1 run on 2 hits with no errors charged to the Stars, and a man left on second base. We have played a half an inning of baseball, and the Hardhats already have a 1-0 lead over their cross-parking lot rival. We will take a quick step aside. When we come back, the Hardhats will go to defense, and the Stars will get their first swings here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Well, the Hardhats now transition from offense to defense. And Dylan Ritchie's on the mound for post 22. He is set to take on the top 3 in the Stars order of Zane Sally, the center fielder, Camden Naiman, the right fielder, and Ian Crump, the shortstop. Dylan Ritchie on the season leads the team in innings pitched in strikeouts. 17 1/3 innings of work under his belt in what are now going to be 5 games. Strikeouts to 11 walks. And 5 runs allowed, only 3 of them earned. Defensive for the Hardhats sees Ritchie paired up with his battery mate and catcher, Ryan Schmidt. At first is Jack Sorensen. Messenger at shortstop is. And in the hot corner at third is Matt Heck. Start on defense, and he is doing so in left field. Branson Keel, I've normally seen pitch. He's come in to bat a few times into some rivalry action.
No, yeah, you're right. And then Ritchie with the 1.2. All right, that's pretty good, Benner. Especially 17 innings pitched. You know, he threw
1 run on a pair of hits with no errors in the field. And for the Stars, no runs on a hit with no blemishes on defense. Mark Benetti and Rapid City Rush head coach Daniel Tatro alongside you on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM. 1340 AM. Zach Sumption set to lead off for the Hardhats, and his first pitch comes right back to Pentecoff on the mound, and the throw to first is in time for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 up, 1 down, brings us to Matt Hegre, the third baseman.
Yeah, quick out there. We talked about swing at the first pitch. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not too good. So right back to the mound for a quick first out.
Matt Hegre's now up, batting .250 on the season. 9 for 36 and 45 plate appearances. And his first pitch misses low and away for ball 1. Hegre on the season has struck out 10 times compared to 5 walks. Pentecoff has yet to record a strikeout in the start. 1-0 pitch swung on, hit high in the air to shallow center. Zane Sally comes charging in, and he will make the catch. He had to cover a lot of distance to get that. And it's an F8 in the book. 2 up, 2 down now brings us to the catcher, Ryan Schmidt.
Quick 2 outs there for Pentecoff. He's throwing strikes and throwing them hard.
3 pitches, too.
3 pitches, that's it.
3 pitches to get 2 outs. Very efficient inning. Full windup for Pentecoff, and his first pitch to Schmidt is swung on and fouled off. Right side of our press box. 0-1 to the Hardhats backstopper. Schmidt comes in with a .250 batting average as well. 2 walks to 1 strikeout on the season.
Post 22 are hacking away, though, Mark.
Next pitch is swung on and fouled off down the first base line. The righty going opposite field, and quickly he's behind 0-2.
Well, they probably know Pentecoff's a strike thrower, so that's why they're there hacking.
I misspoke on Schmidt, by the way. He struck out 12 times, and he's walked 6. Read the wrong line on our stat sheet here. 0-2 from Pentecoff is upstairs, and Schmidt lays off. A ball and 2 strikes. Branson Keel is on deck if we get that far. Ball and 2 strikes the count. And the 1-2 nearly hit him. And the count evens up 2-2.
Had to dance away there, almost hit his knees.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Base path empty. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Hardhats a 1-0 lead. 2-2 to Schmidt. Swung on, hit high in the air, left side of the infield. Ian Crump calls for it at the shortstop position. Underneath it, makes the catch. And that will end the top half of the second. So the Hardhats go down in 1-2-3 fashion, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. We've played an inning and a half of baseball, and the Hardhats still have a 1-0 lead to protect. We'll go to the bottom of the second with Dawson Pentecoff, the pitcher, to lead us off for the Stars here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Hardhats transition out of the bottom half of the second inning against their arch rivals, the post 320 Stars. They have a 1-0 lead over their rivals as we head to the bottom of the second inning. And the Hardhats go back to their respective defensive positions. You and I were talking off the air moments ago, the efficiency on the mound, and while Dylan Ritchie didn't have a bad first inning, 20 pitches with an inning less compared to 22 for his starting counterpart that he's about to pitch to. Dawson Pentecoff, he's got to find a way to get that pitch count a tad bit lower.
Yeah, Ritchie wants a quick 1-2-3 here, that's for sure. Throw strikes, stay efficient.
Pentecoff, Wyatt Hunt, and Devin Jacobs due up for the Stars here in the bottom of the second. Trying to tie this one up as the Hardhats hold on to a 1-0 lead over their arch rivals, post 320 Stars. Mark Benetti and Rush head coach Daniel Tatro alongside you in the broadcast booth here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Coach, I've been mentioning to people on our broadcast as the season's gone along that they should look into getting full season tickets because for the first time in our team's history, full season tickets gets you your own personalized jersey.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat, getting your own jersey. That's awesome. And it should be a good season next year, you know. Not going to be rebuilding like last season. Got about 10, 11 guys coming back, so it's going to be fun.
First pitch to Pentecoff hit him. And so Dylan Ritchie starts off the inning by issuing a free pass, his third hit batsman of the year.
Yeah, you don't want to start an inning like that.
That's now going to bring up Wyatt Hunt, the catcher, with a man on. And I think they're going to bring in a courtesy runner for him. And that courtesy runner is Ren Svensson, who will come in for him.
Get the speedster on the base pads.
I think they do allow the courtesy runner here for the rivalry matchup. So
okay. I've never seen that before.
It's either for the pitcher or catcher, I think.
Okay.
You're allowed the courtesy runner. Wyatt Hunt now comes up. Leadoff man's on. His first pitch is fouled behind home plate. I think that actually hit home plate.
Yeah, it did.
0-1 the count. Leadoff man on with the hit by pitch, and Svensson to take over running for Dawson Pentecoff, the starting pitcher.
Usually when you hit or walk the first batter, it usually costs you. I'd say 70-80% of the time that guy comes home.
Here comes the 0-1, or so we think. It's a check down to first, and Svensson's back. That leadoff man especially, too, whether he gets on there freely or he gets that single, that is such a key part to the game, limiting the leadoff man.
Yes.
Svensson takes his lead off of first. As Ritchie looks into Wyatt Hunt, the catcher. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, and it's fouled off again. And Richie's in the driver's seat on the mound with an 0-2 count.
A lot of foul balls tonight.
Yeah.
There must be a lot of cracked windshields already.
Please don't say that. My poor car's out there.
Well, you got good insurance, Benner.
Oh, yeah, of course I do. I switched to Progressive.
I got Geico.
Oh, there you go. 15 minutes saved you 15%?
Yeah.
0-2 pitch. Missed low. Schmidt with a big block, and Svensson stays at first. So now a ball and 2 strikes here to Hunt.
Great block by Schmidt. Real good.
Should try and sign those insurance agencies to some Post-22 sponsorship.
Yeah.
Maybe some Rush sponsorship? What do you think? Ball and 2 strikes to count. Richie looking for his third K. 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Ball is hit high in the air to center field. Connor King comes in to track it. Underneath it, he makes the catch. That is the first out of the inning. With that man on first, that's going to bring up Devin Jacobs, and almost to a point here, Ted, that's a key first out because now the double play is in effect to potentially end it.
Yeah, and you got the force out at second as well, so big out there.
Devin Jacobs, the second baseman, now steps in, a right-handed batter. That is all Richie has seen so far in this start. No lefties just yet, if at all. First pitch. Swung on, ball's lined in the air to center field. King's underneath it, and he makes the catch. Barely had to move an inch. And that's a key second out. Connor King show right now, and that's going to bring us to Grayson Skinner, the third baseman.
Yeah, that ball was ripped right to King. He didn't even had to move, like you said, right at him. And he's battling the sun as well, so 2 good catches by King at center.
So now Grayson Skinner comes up, the third baseman. Man on first with 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, and the Hardhats still have their 1-0 lead intact over the Stars. First pitch swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right center field. King's on his horse, charging, diving, and he couldn't make the catch. Advancing to third is Svensson as the cutoff comes in to Cooper Bowman. A well-placed single by Grayson Skinner with 2 outs, and now the Stars are threatening. It's men on the corners, and that's going to bring us to Eric Gonzalez, the left fielder.
Great effort by King there at center field, almost with a terrific diving catch. That would have been a highlight reel, maybe on ESPN nationwide.
That would not be the first time he has done that in this park. Last year, he had what I still think to this day is a SportsCenter top 10 right at the wall, crashing into it, still made the catch.
That's awesome.
It was incredible. Now Eric Gonzalez comes up with men 90 feet to his left and right, and his first pitch is ripped into center field. Sumption underneath it to make the catch, and the threat is ended on the L9. The Hardhats strand runners on the corners. No runs on a hit for the Stars with no errors to the Hardhats, and the tying run left 90 feet from home. We've played 2 innings of baseball, and the Hardhats still have a 1-0 lead over Post 320. We'll take a step aside and be right back with the top of the third, and Branson Keel to lead us off for the Hardhats here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Played 2 innings of baseball, and Post 22 still holds on to their narrow 1-0 lead over their arch rivals, the Post 320 Stars, as we head into the top of the third inning and the Hardhats come back to offense. Numbers across the board for the Hardhats. It's a run on a pair of hits with no errors on defense. And for the Stars, no runs, also on a pair of hits and with no blemishes in the field as well. Mark Benetti and Rapid City Rush head coach Daniel Tatro alongside you in the broadcast booth for rivalry action tonight here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Branson Keel will lead us off, and after him we'll go back to the top of the order to Mason Messenger and Connor King. First pitch to Keel, called strike on the inside corner of the plate. He's behind 0-1.
Good pitch on the inside corner.
Branson Keel has only 1 hit and 2 at-bats. It came on Tuesday in Sturgis, a double. First hit is a hard hat. Next pitch swung on, and it's hit to second. Stops made by Jacobs, and his throw to first is in time to register the out 4-3.
Quick first out again.
The leadoff man for the Hardhats so far is 0 for 3 in 3 innings. That'll bring us back to Mason Messenger at the top of the Hardhats order.
Well, I noticed Pentecoff had a good arm in warm-ups before the game, and he throws strikes, throws hard as well.
Messenger is 0 for 1 as we're back to the top of the order now for the Hard Hats. Grounded out right back to Pentecoff. His first pitch is a fastball low, and it's ball 1. Nobody on the base path here for Messenger with 1 out in the top of the 3rd. Hard Hats hanging on to a 1-0 lead over the Stars. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That missed low as well, a breaking pitch, and it's 2-0. It's good.
He keeps the ball down as well, which is a key for success for pitching.
2 balls, no strikes. Pentecoff deals to Messenger. Called strike. On the inside part of the plate, it's 2-1.
Good pitch right there on the inside corner.
I like being this close to the umpire, too, because if it missed the zone, you can tell what his reasoning is. He's very vocal.
And he's consistent so far.
2-1 pitch, swung on, hit again to second. Jacobs charges, fields with the scoop, throw to first is in time. It's the Devin Jacobs show right now at second base. 2 up, 2 down for the Hard Hats on offense. Brings us back to Connor King, who has one of the only 2 hits of the ball game for the Hard Hats.
Yeah, I like this King, especially in the outfield. You know, he almost made an unbelievable diving catch. We were talking about it at the break, and there was no quit, and just a great effort. He's got some wheels as well.
Pentecoff takes his time looking into King. Full windup. First pitch. Called strike at his knees. 0-1. Nice fastball there from Pentecoff. No balls and a strike, the count to the Hard Hat center fielder. 2 outs and the base path empty for him. And the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, called strike on the inside. And it's 0-2.
Nice slow curveball there.
That
right at the belt.
That had some late break to it, too. Very late break. No balls, 2 strikes. Pentecoff looking for that first K. And the pitch to King is high and away, 1-2. Pentecoff yet to register a strikeout, and if he does so, it'll end the top of the 3rd. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings against the Hard Hats if that's the case. Here comes Pentecoff, 1-2 pitch to King. Swung on, balls hit high in the air to shallow right. Underneath it is Camden Naiman, and he makes the catch, and that's going to end the inning. So the F9 retires this side. Another 1-2-3 inning against the Hard Hats, which means no runs, hits, errors, or anybody left on base. 2.5 innings in the books, and the Hard Hats' narrow 1-0 lead is still intact and still there for them to protect as they transition to the bottom of the 3rd. When we come back with the bottom of the 3rd, it is the top of the Stars order, starting off with Zane Sally. You're listening to Hard Hats Baseball on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. All set now for the bottom half of the 3rd inning here at Pete Lean Field. Post 22 and post 320. The Rapid City Rivalry Showdown. Battle of the Ball Fields, as they call it. The first of 2 games to be played in as many weeks, with round 2 coming up next Friday. We've been told for that Battle of the Ball Fields at Fitzgerald Stadium, right across the parking lot, that there is a non-perishable food drive, a canned food drive between both the Stars and the Hard Hats. So bring a non-perishable food item to the rematch next Friday with the game starting at 7 o'clock. You unfortunately won't be there.
No, I'm heading to Dallas tomorrow, and I got a hockey school there. One of my good friends runs a hockey school, so it's always a good time back in Texas.
Can't complain about being in Texas, especially Dallas.
Yeah, a little
Gorgeous
hot right now, though, in the 90s.
That's a dry heat.
Yeah, no, not really. But you know what? I'll be on the ice every day, so it's always refreshing.
Zane Sally fouls off his first pitch to start off the bottom half of the 3rd. Sally's 0 for 1. He is the first of 2 strikeout victims of Dylan Ritchie.
Real quick innings. We got 2 aces here pitching, so they're throwing strikes, so it's going by fast.
0-1 pitch. Breaking ball upstairs. It's a ball and a strike.
usually when you have two great pitchers, you know, it's tough to get hits.
Well, only 4 combined right now through 2.5 innings.
And they get the ball and they just throw it right away, which is great.
Here comes the 1-1. Called strike, a nice breaking pitch from Ritchie, and now it's a ball and 2 strikes to Zane Sally, the center fielder, leading off the bottom of the 3rd. Back at the top of the 320 order. Ritchie looking for a 3rd K. 1-2 pitch, check swing, caught him looking, strike 3. And there's another backwards K for Ritchie.
Yeah, a little off-speed pitch, caught the inside corner, great pitch, and there's another strikeout for Ritchie. So
that's 3 strikeouts, and 2 of them against Sally. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense. Now brings us to Camden Naiman, who has one of the only 2 320 hits. First pitch. High and away, ball 1. Ritchie trying to come with a fastball.
Ritchie's got a great arm as well. It's fun to watch good pitching.
Very underrated in the fans' eyes sometimes. 1-0, swung on and missed. Another fast pitch. 1-1.
Well, as a former pitcher, I just love it. You know, guys that throw heat, throw strikes, and have a lot of junk as well.
Oh, yeah. Here comes a 1-1. Called strike right over the heart of the plate. A nice curveball. It's 1-2.
Looks like Ritchie's getting into a good rhythm here.
Pitch away from back-to-back strikeouts, and it would be number 4. Next pitch swung on, and it's hit to the left side of the infield. Bowman gets it on the run. Throw on the run is in time. What a play by Cooper Bowman at short. 6-3 in the book. 2 up, 2 down brings us to Ian Crump, the shortstop.
Yeah, that's a major league play right there. You know, it was hit in the hole, grabbed it, and sidearm throw right to the first base, right on the money. Just a great play.
And that is why he's playing college baseball next year. Here comes Ian Crump, the shortstop. 0 for 1. He was the second of 3 Ritchie strikeouts. And the first pitch is a called strike at his knees. 0-1.
And a great arm to get it to first base. Throwing on the side, too.
No balls and a strike to Crump. 2 outs, base path empty. Next pitch is fouled off. Ritchie ahead 0-2 as the Hardhats are looking to preserve this 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Base path empty, 2 outs for Crump. Ritchie a pitch away from strikeout number 4. 0-2. Oh, just missed inside on the breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
It's actually a good call by the ump there. It was a little too inside, but he's been consistent.
Here comes a 1-2 from Ritchie. He deals. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that is K, number 4. And the first 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Hardhats. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. We've played 3 frames of baseball, and the Hardhats' 1-0 lead is still intact. We will take a quick step aside, and when we come back with the top of the 4th, Cooper Bowman will lead us off for the Hardhats in just a few moments here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Three innings are in the books here at Pete Lean Memorial Field. And the Post 22 Hardhats still have a narrow 1-0 lead over the Post 320 Stars in their annual rivalry showdown, the first of 2 to be played in as many weeks. Numbers across the board for the Hardhats. In the driver's seat, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors on defense. And for the Stars, it's no runs on 2 hits with no errors in the field as well. Mark Benetti and Rapid City Rush head coach Daniel Tetro alongside you for this rivalry showdown between the Stars and the Hardhats. The Hardhats are back to the offensive here in the top of the 4th, and Cooper Bowman will lead off the charge. Bowman 1 for 1. He has the only other hit the Hardhats have with a single. And his first pitch skips low and away for ball 1. Bowman and King hitting back-to-back at-bats in the top of the 1st. That has been all the offense for the Hardhats since. Outside of a sac fly RBI, 7 straight Hardhats. Well, 8 straight have been retired. Here comes the 1-0. That pitch Missed low and inside. It's 2-0.
That was close.
Very close.
Right below the knees, though. Good call.
2 balls, no strikes to Cooper Bowman, leading off the top of the 4th. Dawson Pentecoff deals, swung on and missed. Bowman way ahead of the off-speed pitch, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, Bowman was expecting a fastball, and he was all over that. He was swinging for the fences.
So 2-1 now the count. Great pitch from Pentecoff. Here comes the 2-1. Swung on, ball's ripped up the middle and into center for a base hit. Cooper Bowman nearly decapitated Pentecoff with that. So he gets his second hit of the ball game and just the third for the Hardhats. Leadoff single, that's going to bring up Jack Sorensen, the first baseman.
Great leadoff hit there. It was right on the screws, right between the second and shortstop, right up the middle. Almost hit the pitcher there.
Sorensen is responsible for knocking in the only run of the ball game. He had a sac fly RBI with 2 men in scoring position back in the top of the 1st. He has a man on first to worry about with no outs. And the first pitch he sees is a fastball low and away for ball 1.
Got that first base runner on board. A lot of damage can be done, especially with the middle of the order here.
Ball and no strikes to count. Bowman takes his lead off of first. And the check to first, not there in time, and Bowman's back. Wouldn't be surprised to see Bowman go running here. He can steal. He has not been caught yet. Ball and no strikes to count.
Got a big lead. Willie Mays Hayes lead.
1-0. Pitch swung on, hit high in the air. Shallow center. There's 3 gentlemen surrounding the ball, calling everybody off from center to make the catch with Zane Sally. Nice communication from the 320 defense. A big first out. Still a man on first. And that'll bring us to Jace Caldwell, the DH.
Yeah, tough at bat there. You know, you want to advance the runner if possible, but just got under it.
So now Caldwell comes up. He's 0 for 1. Ended the top of the 1st with a pop out to short. But he was ripping some foul balls. Check to first, not there in time, and Bowman's back. And you were talking, there was one. He almost decapitated somebody out in just in front of the shed there and left.
Yeah, lady with the yellow shirt there. But she had her eye on the ball. Fortunately.
Ducked for cover there. First pitch to Caldwell. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on, and it's hit to third. Nice diving stop made by Skinner, and the throw to first is off track. And safe at first is Jace Caldwell.
Good job by Skinner just keeping it in the infield. Tried to throw him out at first, but he bobbled it a little bit. But, you know, he stopped it, dove. Should be a hit.
I haven't seen any ruling on that just yet on the scoreboard, but you're absolutely, there it is. There's a hit. Should have been an infield hit, and it is. So an infield single to Jace Caldwell. Advances Bowman to second, brings up Zach Sumption. Sumption in a bit of a slump. He would love to get out of it here with an RBI. Man in scoring position, men on first and second. First pitch swung on, hit high in the air. To shallow center. Sally's underneath it. He makes the catch, and Bowman's going to hang tight at second. So no one advances. Sumption retired on his first pitch for a second at bat in this ball game. 2 down, 2 men on. That brings us to Matt Hegre.
2 big outs by Sorensen. After giving up the leadoff hit, he gets 2 pop flies in the outfield.
So now here comes Matt Hegre, the third baseman. Dawson Pentecoff about to throw his 41st pitch of this start in his 4th inning of work. Fairly efficient.
Very.
Bowman on second. Caldwell on first. Pentecoff deals. Called strike at the knees of Hegre, a fastball. And it's 0-1. Hegre on the ball game is 0 for 1. Flew out to center field in the top of the second. Was the second out of a 1-2-3 inning. Everybody takes their lead. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Hardhats with a 1-0 lead, threatening with a chance to extend it. 0-1. Swung on and it's fouled off. And the count goes to 0-2 for Matt Hegre, who is the only Hardhat with a home run this season.
That was a good cut right there. 2 strikes here. We got to protect the plate.
1-0 the Hardhats lead. Pentecoff is a pitch away from getting out of this. Matt on first and second. Bowman is the most immediate threat. He's 180 feet from home. Pentikoff also looking for his first strikeout. He'll come from the stretch. 0-2 pitch. Low and inside. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes now to the Hardhats' third baseman. If Hegre keeps the inning going, Ryan Schmidt's on deck. He's also 0 for 1. If not, we go to the bottom of the 4th, and Carter Stonecipher leads off for the Stars. Pentikoff feigns a move to second, and everybody retreats to their respective bag. Bowman on second, Caldwell on first. Matt Hegre up, a ball and 2 strikes his count. Pentikoff looking to end this top half of the 4th. 1-0 is the Hardhats lead. 1-2 pitch is low and away. Ball skips away, and everybody's going to advance a base. An unfortunate pass ball there for Wyatt Hunt behind the plate. Now puts Bowman 90 feet from scoring and Jace Caldwell in scoring position on second. That was a huge sequence.
Yeah, breaking ball off the plate. Good block though by the catcher.
2 balls, 2 strikes now the count to Hegre, and 2 men in scoring position. With a swing of the bat, he could blow the roof off the scoreboard. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and the ball is hit to the left side of the infield. It's stopped by Skinner. Skinner's throw to first is in time, and that ends the threat. And Nick Ewing's coming to the first base umpire, and he can't believe it. He thought the ball pulled him off the bag. That was awfully close.
What a great play by Skinner, though. Wow.
Wow.
Diving stop, and then from his knees throws a rocket to first base. Great scoop by the first baseman. And I know the post-22 coach is arguing that maybe the first baseman took his foot off the bag, but that's not what the umpire saw.
So that was a clutch end to the inning for the Stars. We'll take a step aside. Heart of the order due up in the bottom of the 4th here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Coach Tatro and I were commenting off the air as we head here to the bottom of the 4th. You're liking the defense out here right now.
No, great plays, especially the third baseman, the shortstops. I mean, it's been great defensive baseball here tonight.
You know, you were talking about how awesome it is to watch a pitching duel. And you just commented on the defense. What I think stands out the most to me is when you see a perfect game of baseball in the sense that the defense doesn't commit an error, and the error is not a factor in the game. Both teams have to slug it out. Good pitching, good offense, good defense.
Exactly. That's what makes great baseball.
Dylan Ritchie deals a first pitch ball to Carter Stonecipher to lead off the bottom of the 4th for the Stars. Stonecipher is 0 for 1 with a ground out to third to end the bottom of the 1st. 1-0 pitch. Foul ball off the inside. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Stonecipher tried to check his swing there, but it just went right off his barrel.
Yeah, he did. Check swing. Foul ball. This guy's a big dude at the plate.
Ball and a strike the count, and Ritchie deals. Swung on, and it's fouled to the backstop.
Big rip.
Ball and 2 strikes now, the count to Stonecipher.
Yeah, Stonecipher's a big guy.
He's huge.
6'4"?
He has to be.
Yeah.
Built like a linebacker. Good Lord.
He's got a big swing, too.
1-2 pitch, swung on, and it's missed. Strike 3. Strike 3 was dropped, though. Schmidt fields it to first, and he gets the out. 5 strikeouts for Dylan Ritchie in this game. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense. Now brings us to Dawson Pentikoff, his pitching counterpart.
Yeah, and there's another strikeout, but great block by Schmidt to keep it in front of him and then throw him out at first.
A tricky play, too, because Stonecipher chased it that low ball away, so that kind of messed his vision up a bit.
Great block. They should have a stats for how many blocks catchers have.
Right. Here comes Dawson Pentikoff, hit by a pitch on the only one he's seen so far. And his first pitch is a called strike on a breaking ball. Outside corner, it's 0-1.
Yeah, the umpire's calling the corners tonight, and he's consistent on it. And that's what hitters want and pitchers want, consistency.
No balls and a strike to count, and Richie deals high and away, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike for Pentecoff. Pentecoff has pitched a fantastic game as well. As we were remarking, 45 pitches through 4 innings for him. Here comes the 1-1. Called strike, fastball outside corner, and it's 1-2.
Great pitch right there, right on the outside corner. Just painted it. 2 strikes. Can get another strikeout here.
Richie has struck out 3 of his last 4. He's looking for 3 in a row. 1-2 pitch. Misses high and away, and it's 2-2. Hardhats have retired 5 in a row. And again, Richie with Ks in 3 of the last 4. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Base path empty with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Next pitch swung on, hit right back up the middle, takes a skip, and it's off the leg of Mason Messenger. And into shallow center field. I think that's going to be an infield hit regardless. That was a well-placed ball. And Dawson Pentecoff will get subbed out again for Ren Svensson as the courtesy runner, and that's going to bring up Wyatt Hunt, the catcher.
Yeah, no, the second baseman tried to, catch it there at second and throw it at first, but no chance. That's a great hit right up the middle there, Benner.
Oh, they're calling it an error. They're calling it an E4. I don't agree with that.
No, I don't, because that was up the middle. That was a tough play.
Well, they're calling it an E4 here, so we had to change the scorebook. First error of the ball game, and the first pitch to Wyatt Hunt misses low and inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count here to Hunt, who is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. Ren Svensson is on the base path again for Dawson Pentecoff, the pitcher. Here's the 1-0. Missed low and inside on a fastball. It's 2-0. Svensson on first. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Hardhats still with a narrow 1-0 lead over the Stars. First of 2 rivalry matchups to be played in as many weeks, with the rematch slated for next Friday at the Feds. 2-0 pitch, hit right back up the middle. Bowman gets the stop. He'll get the throw to first for the easy out. Very tough play there considering where the ball was hit. There's no real position for either Messenger or Bowman to get that out at second, so smart play to get the easy one.
Yeah, real smart play. Just get the automatic out at first. You didn't have a chance at second at all because it was slowly hit up the middle.
So now Svensson is in scoring position with 2 outs, and that'll bring us to Jevin Jacobs, who is also 0 for 1 with a fly out to Connor King at center. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th, tying run 180 feet from home. First pitch from Richie is upstairs, 1-0. Jacobs checked the swing. He wanted that.
Yeah, he did. Laid off the high pitch, ball 1.
Ball and no strikes to count. Richie again pitching from the stretch, takes a quick peek at second. Here's the 1-0. That's upstairs again. 2 balls, no strikes to Jacobs. Richie about to throw his 55th pitch of this start. 20 pitches in the first inning, 8 in the second, 12 in the third. About to throw his 15th of the inning. 2-0 pitch. Upstairs, high and inside. It's 3-0. Richie's a pitch away from his second free pass of the night, and it will be his first through a base on balls.
Yeah, 3 high balls there. Maybe a little arm fatigue this inning.
He and Ryan Schmidt exchange a few pleasantries before Schmidt goes behind home plate again. Jacobs a 3-0 count. First base is unoccupied. Second base is. It would create a force if he is walked. 3-0 pitch. That's high, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk issued to Devin Jacobs. That's the first walk of the ball game here for Richie. If there's any silver lining, there's a force at all 3 bases now, but now it's 2 runners to worry about. That'll bring up Grayson Skinner, the third baseman.
Yeah, you don't want to worry about the runners here. You got 2 outs. Just worry about the hitter. Try to get him out here. It's a force play on any base.
Skinner's 1 for 1, singled in his first at-bat. Pitch is ripped off foul, just shy of the Hardhats dugout. 0-1 the count.
It's a good rip right there. First pitch strike. Wasn't waiting. Sometimes after a pitcher throws 4 straight balls, you want to take that first pitch. But he was out there hacking.
No balls and a strike the count. Ritchie takes a look at second. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball upstairs. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, he's missing high lately. His arm might be tiring out here a bit.
Skinner has men on first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Now the Stars are threatening. 1-1 pitch. Check swung, but he laid off.
Laid off the check swing.
2 balls and a strike now to Skinner as that pitch was low. It was a well-placed pitch by Ritchie. It almost fooled him.
Yeah, he did.
2 balls and a strike the count to Grayson Skinner, 320's third baseman. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed on a fastball. And the count evens up at 2-2.
Big pitch coming up here, Bennett.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I say go into attack mode. What do you think?
Yes, definitely. He's a strikeout pitcher.
2-2. Swung on and missed.
Got him.
Strike 3. And that is strikeout number 6 for Dylan Ritchie. And that will end the threat and the bottom of the 4th. No runs, no hits, 1 error charged to the Hardhats, 2 men left on the base path, the tying run in scoring position. We've played 4 innings of baseball, and the Hardhats still have a narrow 1-0 lead over the Post 320 Stars. We will take a quick step aside. When we come back with the top of the 5th, leading off for the Hardhats will be Ryan Schmidt, the 8-hole hitter and catcher. We'll be right back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, by Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. Post 22 still has their narrow 1-0 lead intact as we head to the top of the 5th inning. For the Hardhats, it's a run on 4 hits with 1 error in the field. And for the Stars, it's no runs on 2 hits with no errors. Ryan Schmidt is set to lead off the top half of the 5th. Annual rivalry showdown between the Stars and the Hardhats. Dawson Pentecoff, his first pitch to Schmidt is low and inside for ball 1. Schmidt, Keel, back to the top of the order to Messenger, due up here in the top of the 5th. Here comes the 1-0 to Schmidt. Swung on, the ball's ripped right up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Second time all game that the Hardhats have led off with a hit. Schmidt takes first, and that'll bring up Branson Keel, the left fielder.
Great hit by Schmidt, right up the middle. Hard hit ball. Leadoff guy on, that's always good.
Coach Kelvin Torvey taking his spot at the third base coach's box. Gives a signal to both Schmidt and to Keel as Keel steps in for his second at-bat. Keel is 0 for 1. Grounded out to second to start off the top half of the 3rd. He has a man on first and no one out here in the top of the 5th. Pentecoff a look at first. Keel squares for bunt. Pentecoff deals outside 1-0.
Little sacrifice here. Advance the runner with no out.
Look, in a game this
Especially
close.
in a tight game, yep.
Right, you got to play
I
small
like the
ball.
strategy.
Schmidt takes his lead off at first. Keel again squares up for bunt. And the 1-0. Bunt is dropped to the mound. Pentecoff, could he get the out at second? Yes, he can. Very well-placed defense by the Post 320 Stars. And you got to look back at that moment there, Coach, with these guys trying to play small ball. You have to execute on that bunt and get it down the lines. You can't get it to the mound.
What a great play by Pentecoff, though. Get it, and then firing it at second for the force out.
So,
but the problem was the bunt was right at Pentecoff.
So Keel takes over at first. Keel takes over at first again. Schmidt out as the lead runner. And that's going to bring us now back to the top of the order to Mason Messenger. trying to look over at third. Grayson Skinner looked a tad bit ginger and was running down the line, so might be something to look out for there.
Yeah, it might have been. It might have happened when he did that diving play.
So now here comes Messenger, back to the top of the Hardhats order. He is 0 for 2. Man on first and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. And Messenger calls for time before Pentecoff offers a pitch. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for the Hardhats. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Stars. Just about the midway point of the ballgame. First pitch. Swung on, and the ball's ripped to third, and it goes right by Skinner and into left. Holding up at second is Branson Keel. Everybody advances a base. And that will bring us to Connor King, the left-handed hitting center fielder.
Right under the glove there, third baseman glove.
They're going to rule that a hit as Keel now takes over at second.
It was a hard hit ball.
So now King comes up with men on first and second. King is 1 for 2, got the first hit of the entire ball game, and he is the only run of this ball game as well. Keel on second in scoring position. Messenger on first. First pitch is outside to King. It's 1-0. It's a big moment here for both teams here, Coach.
Yes. First and second, 1 out. 1-0 ball game.
Hardhats have stranded 3 men on the base path, all in scoring position. Have to knock one in here somehow. Next pitch is a called strike at the knees of King on the outside corner. And the count evens up at 1-1. Yeah, something has to give on offense for these guys. They've left 3 runners in scoring position on the base path. Ball and a strike, the count to King. Men on first and second, 1 out. 1-1 pitch, swung on, hit high in the air to left. Backtracking is Gonzalez. He makes the catch. Tagging up from second, going to third is Keel. Smart base running for the Hardhats as Keel is safe. And staying on first is Mason Messenger. So now it's men on the corners with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. And that'll bring us to Cooper Bowman, who is perfect today. 2 for 2 with a pair of singles.
Yeah, that was a hard hit ball to the left fielder. Far enough for the player on second base to tag up. First and third here, 2 outs. You want to cash in guys with 2 outs, with men in scoring position, especially in tight ball games because every run counts.
Bowman 2 for 2. The only Hardhat to truly solve Pentecoff, as he has hit every time he's faced him. Men 90 feet to his left and right. The most immediate threat, Branson Keel to his left. Check to first, Messenger's back. Messenger on first, Keel on third. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Time is called by Wyatt Hunt, the catcher. He's going to have a quick word here with Pentecoff. Situation like this, put us in the pitcher's head. What's being talked about right now?
Well, you just want to throw strikes. You don't want to be bothered by the guy at first base. There's 2 outs. I mean, it's a free base for that guy if he wants to steal it. But if you can catch him stealing, go ahead. But just want to focus on the hitter.
And now time is called by Coach Downs, and he's going to come out there and
well, it's
have
an
a quick
important time in the game here, and that's why the coach is out there.
So a quick conference on the mound. Hardhats have a 1-0 lead. Scenario right now is Cooper Bowman is still waiting for his first pitch. He has men 90 feet to his left and right. On first is Mason Messenger. On third is Branson Keel. Hardhats have a 1-0 lead on 6 hits with an error on defense. Post 320, no runs on 2 hits with no errors in the field. Mark Benetti and Rapid City Rush head coach and former Toronto Blue Jays prospect Daniel Tatro alongside you for all the rivalry action tonight here on ESPN Rapid City, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. Picked a heck of a ball game to join me for.
Yeah, great ball game. Great pitching duo. 2 great pitchers here, and I love that. As a former pitcher, I can't complain.
Cooper Bowman steps in. Conference on the mound is over. We are ready to play ball. Dawson Pentecoff looks into Bowman, who has hit a single off of him both times they faced each other. Messenger leads off at first, Keel off at third. First pitch, buzzes the tower high and inside. It's 1-0. Jack Sorensen on deck. 0 for 1 with a sac fly RBI, if we get that far. There are 2 outs. Bowman has yet to be retired, though. Trying to keep this train rolling, give the Hardhats a very key second run. 1-0 pitch, swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left center field. Zane Sally's tracking it at the wall. It's off the wall. It takes a skip away from him into left. Rounding third, heading home is Messenger. Here comes Bowman on his horse, and they're going to stop him at third. A two-run, two-out RBI triple for Cooper Bowman, and the Hardhats now have a 3-0 lead with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
What a great hit, right off the wall. It almost cleared the wall there for a 3-run shot, but 2 runs batted in, and what a hit. He was waiting on that fastball, and he got it and just ripped it. That was almost 400 feet, Mark.
Right.
Right at left center there.
I mean, Sally was tracking it, and dead center's 370, but we talked about it before the game. Left center has that dip to 415, and
yep.
I mean, you have to look where it hit just shy of that urgent care sign. That's got to be about 400.
Yeah, that was hit right on the screws on the sweet spot.
So now Jack Sorensen comes up with the man on third. And his first pitch is a breaking ball called strike on the outside corner. 0-1 for Sorensen, who again is 0 for 1 with a sac fly RBI and a fly out to center. Cooper Bowman 90 feet to his left with that 2-run RBI triple on third. 0-1 pitch. Just missed, low and away. Pentecoff trying to go for that same spot. Now it's 1-1.
Yeah, when you can't get runs with 2 outs, I mean, that's huge for any team. Usually win ball games in those situations.
Ball and a strike the count. Pentecoff from the stretch. 1-1, swung on, ripped right up the middle and into center for a base hit. Bowman will trot home to score, and now the train's rolling for the Hardhats. A 2-out RBI single for Jack Sorensen, and it's now a 4-0 lead with 2 outs and a man on first here in the top of the 5th.
Another run with 2 outs. And a hard hit ball right up the middle. Almost hit the pitcher, Pentecost.
So now Sorensen will take over on first. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Jace Caldwell. 1 for 2 with an infield single that he hit the last time he was up. Hardhats now with a 4-0 lead. First pitch. Called strike outside corner. And it's 0-1, well placed by Pentecoff.
You know, they're 3rd time through the lineup now, so it's a big advantage on the hitters. You got to see the pitcher twice already.
0-1. Missed low and away.
You figure out the delivery, you figure out the speed and everything, so it's always an advantage for the hitters 3rd time up.
By the way, Post 320 has action in their bullpen. There is a lefty warming up, but I can't identify a license plate. So we'll have to wait. 1-1. Called strike inside corner at the knees of Jace Caldwell, and it's 1-2. Hardhats executing with 2 outs. Back-to-back 2-out RBI hits for Cooper Bowman, Jack Sorensen. Jace Caldwell trying to add his name to that list. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball almost buzzed him. Throw to second is not in time, as Jack Sorensen timed his steal perfectly. So Sorensen now in scoring position as the count is 2-2 to Caldwell. And now Caldwell can really come through with the 2-out RBI hit.
Yeah, that'd be a big run. You don't want to quit just at 4. You want to keep piling on the runs here, especially with men in scoring position, Mark.
These are the first runs, by the way, scored for either side since the top of the 1st inning. Hardhats took a 1-0 lead. It now stands at 4-0. Man in scoring position, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. 2-2 to Caldwell. Swung on, and the ball is hit right to Skinner, and he makes the catch. That looked a lot tougher than it seemed. He gets the out at third, and that will end the Hardhats rally. Well, the Hardhats in this inning get 3 runs on the power of 3 hits. No errors charged to the Stars. 1 man left on the base path in scoring position. We've played exactly half the ball game, 4.5 innings out of 9, and the Hardhats have started to separate themselves. They have a 4-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 5th. We'll be right back with Eric Gonzalez, the 9-hole hitter of the Stars, to lead us off here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 coming off of the most offensively explosive inning of the ball game. At one point, all we could say for the most explosive offensive inning was only 1 run was scored. Now we can say 3 were scored. 3 runs on 3 hits with no errors and a man left on for the Hardhats here in the top of the 5th. We're at halftime of the ball game, if you will, and it's now a 4-0 Hardhats lead. Through 4.5 out of 9 innings, the Hardhats have 4 runs on 8 hits with 1 error on defense. And for the post 320 Stars, it's no runs on 2 hits with no errors. Mark Benetti and Rapid City Rush head coach Daniel Tatro alongside you on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. We had our good buddy Steve Nitzel in here last week calling some baseball. You've had a chance to talk with Steve a little bit.
Yeah, great guy. Funny character and was a heck of a ball player. Played college at Oregon State.
Here comes Eric Gonzalez. His first pitch is hit high in the air, foul territory, first base side, and Sorensen watches it way out of his reach, just shy of the fence. 0-1 the count to Gonzalez, who's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He will be followed in order by Zane Sally at the top of the order, and then Camden Naiman in the hole.
You know Richie wants a quick 1-2-3 inning here to get the back on the sticks.
0-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit to the left side of the infield. Hegre gets the stop at third, bobbles the ball, and that's going to end the play. That'll be an E5 on the play. Second error of the ballgame for the Hardhats, as Eric Gonzalez gets a big leadoff base runner for the Stars.
Yeah, tough play there by the third baseman, bobbled it, and couldn't get the throw on.
It's going to bring us back to the top of the order to Zane Sally, who's had a rough day at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, swinging and looking. And Dylan Ritchie's had his number tonight.
Yep. Oh, you need a big out here. This is where a strikeout can be huge, or even a double play, Mark.
Ritchie steps off the rubber as Sally sets himself. Man on first, leadoff man, Eric Gonzalez getting on there with an error charged to Matt Hegre at third.
Yeah, Matt had a tough play there. It short-hopped him right at the last second.
First pitch from Ritchie is inside and off the glove of Schmidt. It goes all the way to the backstop. And the passed ball will advance Eric Gonzalez to second. So a big moment here for the Stars, who are down 4-0. They have a man in scoring position, no outs. And it's a 1-0 count here to Zane Sally. So Gonzalez takes his lead off a second now. Ritchie takes a quick look. 1-0 pitch. Called strike on the inside corner.
He's been calling it all night, so good call right on the corner.
1-1 now the count to Zane Sally. Ritchie has struck him out twice. How crazy would that be if he went for 3? Ritchie a look to second. 1-1 to Sally. Swung on and missed on that breaking pitch low. 1-2. That completely broke out of the zone.
Great pitch. Great pitch.
Ball and 2 strikes now the count to Zane Sally. And Ritchie is a strike away from the hat trick of strikeouts, 1-on-1 against the center fielder for the Stars. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and the ball is hit into right for a base hit. And they're going to stop Gonzalez at third. Sally's going to take advantage of second on the throw, so he gets a single and will advance to second. 2 men in scoring position for the Stars who are threatening here. That's going to bring up Camden Naiman with a chance on either a hit or a sac fly to knock in the Stars' first run of the ballgame.
You got to tip your hat to the hitter there. You know, with 2 strikes, he went with the pitch, outside corner pitch, and he took it the other way between first and second for opposite field hit. Now it's second and third with no out.
And there was a gap the size of a Mack truck between Sorensen and Messenger over there. Easy spot to push the ball. First pitch to Naiman, swung on and missed.
Great block there.
Schmidt came up with a block that could have easily knocked in a run and advanced another runner 90 feet from the plate. 0-1 the count here to Naiman, who is 1 for 2. He is one of the only 320 hits in the game. Men on second and third for him, no outs. 0-1 is outside. Ball and a strike the count.
Well, they're making him work this inning. It all started with that error.
Ritchie's about to throw his 70th pitch of this start. Just about 5 innings of work. 1-1. Swung on. Ball's hit to the left side, and it goes into the hole and into left for a base hit. One run's going to come in and score, and they're going to stop everybody else. An RBI single for Camden Naiman. And the Stars are on the board, and the Hardhats lead is now 4-1. And we've been on the corners with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth.
Well, they're seeing the ball better now, and third time through the lineup, like I said. You know what the pitcher throws. You know his windup. And it's easier to figure out third time through.
Schmidt is signaling his infield defense on what exactly needs to happen in this sequence. Ian Crump is now up. He's struck out twice, 0 for 2. Second and fourth of 6 Dylan Ritchie strikeouts. Men on the corners, no one out. First pitch. Swung on and missed.
Good pitch there.
0-1 the count here to Crump. Men on the corners with no one out here in the bottom of the fifth. And now the Hardhats lead is at 4-1 against the Stars. Arch rivalry showdown. Hardhats blew open the top of this inning with a 3 spot. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left center field. Connor King is on his horse tracking the ball, and it goes all the way to the wall. One run's going to come in and score. Here comes a second run, and hanging on at second base is Ian Crump. A 2-run RBI double, and the Stars are right back in this one. It's a 4-3 Hardhats lead with a man on second and no one out here in the bottom of the fifth.
That might be it for Ritchie. Mound visit. They're hitting him hard now.
Well, this game got very interesting. And the PA announcer called it perfectly. We have ourselves a ball game as Coach Klapperich, the pitching coach of the Hardhats, is coming out to talk to his infield defense as well as young Ritchie on the mound.
You got to give credit to the hitters of post 320, though. I mean, they're patient, and when they get a strike in the middle of the plate, they're doing damage.
Mound visit is over. It looks like Ritchie is staying in this ball game. And he will do so with a man on second and no one out. That's going to bring up Carter Stonecipher, who is 0 for 2. He has grounded out to third and struck out. Key moment here for the Hardhats who really need to lock it down. Tying run is 180 feet from home. Ritchie takes a look at second. First pitch to Stonecipher. Misses low. Schmidt comes up with a crucial block. 1-0.
Yeah, he's been busy back there. Breaking balls in the dirt, and he's been blocking every single one of them.
Man on second, no one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Each team has exchanged 3 runs in this top and bottom half of the fifth. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Stonecipher chased that one way outside. It's 1-1.
Yeah, as a pitcher here, you just want to get outs. You want to stay calm, cool. You've still got a 4-3 lead. You want to minimize the damage as much as possible.
Ball and a strike the count. Ritchie looks at second. Deals to Stonecipher. Next pitch skipped. Schmidt comes up with another block, and it's 2 balls and a strike. You're right. He's really earning his keep back there.
Yeah, well, Ritchie doesn't want to throw any more fastballs because he's been getting hit hard. So now he's a little weary of throwing that heater.
There is action in the Hardhats bullpen. I think that looks like Holden Jackson warming up. Ritchie feigns a motion to second. Will step off the rubber. That looks at least like Holden Jackson's arm sleeve. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Maybe I'm right. Maybe my vision is this awesome at 30 years old. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and it's fouled off. First base side out of play. Please don't hit a car. And the count evens up at 2-2.
Well, the parking lot is full tonight with this big crowd.
They came for a great baseball game, too.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Ritchie shaking off Schmidt. Now they finally come to an agreement on the next pitch. Ritchie looks to the man at second. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and just fouled off. And the count holds even at 2-2.
Foul tip. Barely.
Carter Stonecipher, 0 for 2, looking for his first hit. Depending on how well he hits this ball, we could have a tie ball game on our hands. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Ritchie deals. Missed low. Schmidt blocks. And the count goes full.
Yeah, they're not chasing that ball in the dirt. Good patience by the 320 hitters.
Now the most important pitch of the inning coming up, 3-2 to Stonecipher.
This is where a strikeout can be huge, Mark.
It's all about momentum at this point.
Yes.
And the Hardhats need it in the field right now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Richie looks at second. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to left. That ball has some legs. It has the distance, and it is out of here. A 2-run home run for Carter Stonecipher, and for the first time tonight, the Post 320 Stars have the lead over the Hardhats. It's 5-4 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, that ball got out in a hurry. Waiting on a fastball, and he guessed right. Hammered it left field side 330 feet. Over the fence. They take the lead with a 2-run shot. 5
runs in this inning, and now it looks like the start of Dylan Ritchie will come to an end. Unfortunate to see his start end like this. He threw just shy of 80 pitches in 5 innings. And boy, what an inning this was. 3 runs for the Hardhats at the start. They have a 4-0 lead. Within a handful of pitches, all of a sudden, you're looking at the Stars taking their first lead of the ball game at 5-4.
Yeah, now it's a frustrating walk to the dugout. I've been there before as a young kid, and it's frustrating, especially when things were rolling the first 4 innings, Mark. But that's baseball sometimes. There's no time clock, and it's a game of momentum. And right now, 320 is carrying that momentum.
Well, Ritchie had 6 strikeouts in the start. And now he will give way to Holden Jackson, who will come in relief for Ritchie. Jackson will make on the season his 5th appearance and his 2nd in relief. He has 14 innings of work under his belt, only 2nd to Ritchie after this ball game. He has an ERA of 1 right on the dot with 8 strikeouts to 6 walks, 5 runs allowed on the season, only 2 of them earned on 12 hits through his 14 innings. So Ritchie threw 4+ innings. He gave up 5 runs, all of which were earned on 6 hits. I'm sorry, only 4 were earned. We led off this inning with an error. And he only walked 1 and hit 1 batter.
And how costly is that error right now, Mark?
Right. That started off the whole rally.
Yep. Defense is crucial in the game of baseball. Just like hockey, Mark. Defense wins championships.
Amen to that. So Holden Jackson now comes in to throw against the Stars, and he will throw against his pitching counterpart, Dawson Pentikoff. Pentikoff is 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch, and has reached on an error. 1 of 2 committed by the Hardhats in the last 2 innings. And again, what started off as a fantastic start for Ritchie now has him shaking his head going to the dugout, and the Hardhats' 4-0 lead gone in a blink.
Yep. Got to minimize the damage here. There's still no out, though, Mark.
Exactly. So for Jackson, you have to approach this as a brand new inning.
Brand new inning, yep.
No runners to worry about. A 1-run deficit to protect so that your team has only 1 run to face coming back to the sticks. Base path's empty. Here we go. First pitch to Pentikoff, swung on and missed. That's got to be good for Jackson coming out of the pen. First pitch swing and a miss.
Yes, definitely. You want to start out with a good strike.
2nd relief appearance of the season for Jackson and his 5th appearance overall for the Hardhats. Here comes the 0-1. Breaking ball called strike. I should have warned you, he has a nasty curveball.
Yeah, I saw that just now. Nice 12-6.
No balls, 2 strikes to count. Only took 2 pitches to break it out. Literally. No balls, 2 strikes. Jackson a full windup, and the 0-2. Caught him looking, strike 3. And a good start for Jackson as he registers the backwards K on his first batter faced. 1 up, 1 down. Here comes Wyatt Hunt.
Yeah, that's got to be a big positive, big confidence boost. 3 strikes, strikeout. Painted the outside corner. I think he was expecting a curveball again, and threw the heater.
So now here comes Wyatt Hunt, who's 0 for 2. Flew out and grounded into a fielder's choice. First pitch swung on, line to second. Messenger off his glove, couldn't snare it. He tries to settle the ball, and that's all that's going to happen. An infield single to Wyatt Hunt. Messenger was just an inch away from a brilliant diving catch. So now it's a man on with one out, and that'll bring up Devin Jacobs, the second baseman.
Well, might have been an error. I'm not sure, Mark.
Oh, they're calling it a hit.
It was a hit. Okay. He had a chance at it. Good diving play, though. Good effort.
And so coming in to run for Hunt is a pinch runner, or a courtesy runner. We're going to have to see who that was that ran out. First pitch to Devin Jacobs, missed the zone for ball one. I think that looks like Mason Russell over there. 1-0 pitch. Upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes now to Devin Jacobs. Jacobs 0 for 1, fly out to center field and a walk. The only one that Richie issued in his start. 6 strikeouts to a walk and a hit batter for Richie.
Balk.
They're calling a balk. Yeah, you're exactly right. Mason Russell's going to take second. So a balk allows him to take second and put himself in scoring position. So unless it's a funky sequence, the double play not available right now.
Didn't come into the set position, Mark.
So now here comes Devin Jacobs, a 2-0 count and a man on second. Next pitch, foul tipped into the glove. And it's now 2-1. Big sequence here for Jackson. He needs another out at the plate.
Yeah, he does.
2 balls and a strike to count to Jacobs. Man on second, 1 out. Next pitch, fouled. Jackson's a pitch away from strikeout number 2 in relief. 5-4 is the Stars' lead. 5 runs scored in this inning. On the power of 4 hits and an error. And Carter Stonecipher's go-ahead 2-run blast. Jackson sets, 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. The ball was dropped, though, and Schmidt will throw to first for the out. So there's strikeout number 2 for Jackson. 2-3 in the book. 2 down with that man on second. That brings us to Grayson Skinner, the third baseman, and the Stars have officially batted through the order in this inning, and here's hoping Jackson can keep it at that.
Yeah, what a great curveball again. You talked about it earlier. Got him on that strikeout. Great slow curveball.
Skinner, 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. He was the final punch-out issued by Dylan Ritchie in his start. 6 out of 6. First pitch, called, strike. Fastball on the outside corner. Good on the umpire to make sure he thought about it before he made the call.
Yeah, a little late call. I like his calls, though.
I do, too. I have 0 problems with the umpiring tonight. 0-1. Breaking ball is chopped foul, third base side.
Reminds me of Frank Drebin and Naked Gun.
Yeah. 0-2 now on the count. That was a nifty move by Jackson, who started his delivery while he was still looking at second. Yeah. Still pinpoint accuracy. It's pretty solid. No balls, 2 strikes. Looking for K number 3 and 4 batters faced in relief. Big pitch coming up here for Jackson, and he deals. Swung on, and it's fouled off the person of Skinner. And the count holds at 0-2.
Another nice slow curveball. And he throws them for strikes as well, which is the key.
Absolutely. The breaking ball means nothing if you can't throw it for a strike. Yeah. Granted, you should be able to throw it for junk, too, because that's the beauty of a breaking pitch. But if you can locate it for a strike, you're in business. 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that's number 3 out of 4 batters faced for Jackson in relief. So he gets the Hardhats out of the inning, but the damage has already been done by the Stars. 5 runs on the power of 5 hits with 1 error charged to the Hardhats and a man left on base in scoring position. We've played 5 innings of baseball, and this game has dramatically changed. The Stars have their first lead of the night at 5-4. We'll be right back with the top of the 6th here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. There has been a pitching change on the mound for the post 320 Stars. They have now brought in the lefty Carter Nesland to take over for Dawson Pentecoff, who started this game and threw 63 pitches in 5 innings. Did not strike out any hard hats. He didn't walk any either. And all 4 of the runs in which he allowed were earned on 8 hits through 5 innings of work. Pentecoff moves over to third, so he is still in the ball game. He's going to come in, it looks like, for Grayson Skinner. So Nesland's going to bat in Skinner's spot. As Pentecoff heads over to third to stay in the ball game. Mark Benetti and Rush head coach Daniel Tatro alongside you in the broadcast booth on ESPN Rapid City. 105.7 FM, 1340 AM. We have played 5 innings of baseball here at Peatline Field, and in an explosive 8-run inning between both sides, the Stars have taken the lead at 5-4 over the Hardhats. Numbers across the board for post 22, it's 4 runs on 8 hits with 2 errors in the field, and for the Stars, it's 5 runs on 7 hits with no errors. And one of those 7 hits, probably the biggest one, the 2-run jack over the left field wall from Carter Stonecipher.
Yeah, that was a big 3-run shot for the lead, and you know, there's a lot of ball game left, Mark. And now both relievers are in, but a great job by Jackson retiring the side there.
Here comes Zach Sumption to lead off for the Hardhats, and his first pitch, a called strike on the first pitch from Nesland. 0-1 the count.
Nesland's got a good arm, lefty.
That's the first time the Hardhats have faced a lefty tonight. No balls and a strike, the count to Sumption, who's 0 for 2. 0-1, swung on and missed. And quickly, Sumption's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Sumption in his first 2 at-bats registered himself out on the first pitch. Ground out to the mound and a fly out to center. Deepest count he's been in all night. Full windup for the lefty. Nesland deals the 0-2. Swung on and it's just fouled off. First base side and out of play. Good for Sumption to foul it off and keep battling.
Yeah, he's got a good delivery. Hides the ball well, too.
Almost reminds you of Dempsey, used to pitch for the Cubs.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And post 320 registers their first strikeout of the entire evening for their pitching staff. That's 1 up, 1 down for Nesland in relief, and that'll bring up Matt Heggery, the third baseman.
Big strikeout there by the reliever.
I have to correct myself. It was Dempster, Corey Dempster, not Dempsey. It was Dempster.
Ryan
was the
Dempster.
pitcher. Oh, Ryan Dempster. Yeah. Gee.
Canadian.
Good Lord. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You're a Canadian boy.
But he was a right-handed.
He was, but he was very deceptive with
yes, he was.
with his delivery. First pitch to Heggery, missed outside, low and away. Ball 1. Heggery again 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a ground out to third. No one on the base path and 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The Hardhats trailing for the first time tonight, 5-4. Nesland, 1-0 pitch. Called strike at the knees. It's a fastball outside corner, and it's 1-1. Ball and a strike now to Heggery. He's got to get something started here for the Hardhats. Trail the Stars, 5-4. Full windup for the lefty. 1-1 to Heggery. Swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 1-2.
This kid's got a good arm. Throwing strikes, too.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Nesland already has 1 K in relief. Pitch away from number 2. Here comes the 1-2 to Heggery. Caught him looking, strike 3. And that's back-to-back strikeouts for Nesland in his first inning of relief. 2 up, 2 down. Ryan Schmidt, the catcher's up.
Great pitch there. Can't get caught looking, though, with 2 strikes. Anything close, you got to hack.
Schmidt comes in 1 for 2 on the ball game. Singled the last time he was up. Here comes the first pitch. Called strike. Fastball at his knees. 0-1. Branson Keel is on deck if we get that far. 2 outs. Base path empty here in the top of the 6th for the Hardhats. And Ryan Schmidt's up. 0-1 from Nesland. Breaking ball outside, and it's 1-1. It's only the second ball he's thrown on 10 pitches. Everything else has been a strike. 1-1 now the count to Schmidt. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Hardhats down by 1. 1-1, swung on and missed. Schmidt a tad bit late there, 1-2.
He's throwing strikes, that's for sure. And he's throwing hard, too. He's in his zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Neslin looking for back-to-back-to-back Ks. 1-2 to Schmidt. Swung on, the ball's pushed into right field, and that ball's going to drop for a base hit, and it's going to go past the right fielder in Naaman. And Schmidt's going to take second. A 2-out double for Ryan Schmidt to try and get something started for the Hardhats. The tying run is in scoring position, and that will now bring us to Branson Keel with a chance to even this game up at 5.
Just a great hit by Schmidt going the opposite way with 2 strikes, protecting the plate. Took a breaking ball and drove it in the opposite field for a double. Tying run at second.
Carter Deming's going to come in as the courtesy runner for the catcher. Ryan Schmidt, that's a rule that was agreed upon between both coaching staffs, that the pitcher and the catcher would both get courtesy runners if they wanted. So Carter Deming now in to run for Ryan Schmidt. Branson Keel, 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice the last time he was up and came around to score in that 3-run top of the 5th. First pitch, misses low and inside, nearly skipped away from Hunt, and Schmidt hangs on at second. That could have been very costly.
See, it's a lot different going from the full windup to just the stretch, Mark. It's a different look for the pitcher, so it makes it a little harder on the pitcher.
And this is the first time all inning that he's throwing from the stretch. Yes. Ball and no strikes the count to Keel. Deming's on second. Courtesy running for Schmidt. 1-0. Called strike, fastball at his knees. Great velocity, it's 1-1.
Yeah, he's been painting the corners with that fastball as well.
Ball and a strike the count. Branson Keel up with a man on second. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Hardhats with a chance to tie it, down 5-4. There comes the 1-1. Swung on, ball is hit high in the air to the shallow part of the infield, and coming in from second, diving. Nope. He can't make the catch, he dropped it. And Branson Keel is safe. Coming in from second was Devin Jacobs, and he dropped it trying to slide and make the catch. And I believe that's going to be an E4 there.
Yeah, it's got to be an error. That's got to be catch, especially with 2 outs. Unfortunately, he mishandled it, and that's an error.
And there's the
error.
That
can be costly.
So now advancing to third is Carter Deming. It's men on the corners for Mason Messenger. A chance to tie it up for the Hardhats. 2 outs. Men on the corners. First pitch. Misses low, ball 1.
This is where you got to take advantage of the extra out and the error here if you're post 22.
Messenger is 1 for 3. He had a single the last time he was up and came around to score. That was back in the top of the 5th, 1 inning ago. Men 90 feet to his left and right. Neslin, 1-0 pitch. Called strike right at the belt of Messenger, outside corner. It's 1-1. Connor King is on deck if we get that far.
Pressure's on the pitcher now, Mark, with first and third here.
Ball and a strike, the count to Messenger. Neslin deals. Inside, runner goes, they're going to let him go. And now it's 2 men in scoring position here for Messenger, and if he gets a cleanly hit ball, Hardhats could have the lead by the end of the inning.
Yeah, with 2 balls and a strike here, you got to look something to hit. Fastball up the middle. You got to look for fastball here, especially with 2 strikes, Mark.
Keel on second, Deming on third. Deming courtesy running for Ryan Schmidt. Full windup now for Neslin. 2-1 pitch, just missed low and away, and it's 3-1.
Good eye there by the batter.
Now Neslin's a pitch away from loading up the bases for Connor King. 3 balls and a strike.
He doesn't have to throw a strike with the base empty here, though, Mark.
Here comes the 3-1. Swung on and missed. And now the count goes full. The most important pitch of the ball game to this point coming up.
Yeah, but you don't, as a pitcher, you don't want to leave it in the middle of the plate, though, because there is a base open. So
3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men in scoring position, first base open. Payoff pitch. High and away, ball 4. And Mason Messenger walks with 2 outs. Bases loaded. Here comes Connor King.
Big moment in the game here. Bases loaded, 2 outs, down by a run. It's a key moment.
And a lefty-on-lefty matchup,
Yes.
too. Connor King, the only lefty in the lineup for the Hardhats. This will be the only lefty-on-lefty matchup they have. King's 1 for 3. His only hit came in the first inning. He's flown out the last 2 times he's been up. Every base occupied. Hardhats down by 1. First pitch. Misses low, and it skips to the backstop. Coming from third to score is Carter Deming. We're tied at 5. The passed ball brings in Carter Deming running for Ryan Schmidt, and now it's 2 men in scoring position for Connor King, and it's a 5-5 ball game.
No, that's a crucial pass ball there. Ties up the score. Like I said, these situations, pressure's on the pitcher and catcher. As a hitter, you're just looking for something down the middle of the plate, something you can rip.
Full windup for Neslin, 1-0. Called strike, inside corner at the knees of King. It's 1-1. Good awareness by the Hardhats base runners, too, to not question themselves. I saw that ball go, and they flew.
Yep.
Second and third for King. 2 outs, top of the 6th. We are tied at 5. Neslin in relief. 1-1 pitch. Nearly hit him.
Ooh, thought it did.
I almost thought it did, too.
Yeah. Right at the chest.
2 balls and a strike now to King. Awfully close.
Yeah, we got a great ball game tonight, Mark. 5-5 game here.
Heck yeah, we do.
Picked a good one to do the color with you.
Right? 2 balls and a strike to count. Neslin deals to King. High and upstairs. 3-1. And now, Neslin's a pitch away from loading the bases for Cooper Bowman, of all people, who's 3 for 3 tonight.
Yeah. So errors has cost both teams tonight dearly.
3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch is low, ball 4. Connor King is on first with a 2-out walk. And that is going to bring us to Cooper Bowman, who is fresh off of a 2-run RBI triple with 2 outs.
Yeah, dangerous guy on bat here. And like I said, pressure's on the pitcher here. And he's swinging a hot bat tonight. So look out.
And the most dangerous thing right now about Bowman is that he's already proven he can hit with 2 outs.
Yeah, exactly.
Bases loaded. Tie ball game. Top of the 6th. First pitch to Bowman. Missed low and away. Ball 1. Branson Keel on third. Mason Messenger on second. Connor King on first. The Hardhats tied this ball game up on a pass ball that let Carter Deming, running for Ryan Schmidt, come in to score. 1 ball, no strikes to count. And Neslin deals to Bowman. Called strike. Fastball at his knees, outside corner. It's 1-1.
That's a good take. That's a good pitch, too. Outside corner. Not to his liking. 1-1.
If you're Cooper Bowman, you've got to like the pitch if you're going to try and smack it.
Yeah.
Ball and a strike to count. High pressure situation. 1-1 pitch from Neslin. High and away. 2-1. Like you mentioned, great eye.
Yeah, you don't want to throw a ball here, so something's going to be around the plate area. It's a good hitting count, Mark.
2 balls and a strike to count. Carter Neslin in relief of Dawson Pentecoff, who's now over at third. Here comes the 2-1. Called strike at his knees. Bowman thought that was a little low, but now it's 2-2.
He's been calling all night, though. That was a great pitch.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Very important pitch coming up to Bowman here as he digs in. Bases are loaded. 2 outs. We're tied at 5 here in the top of the 6th. Hardhats tied this ball game up on a pass ball. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, and that ball's hit high in the air to left center field. Sally's coming in from center on the run, and he makes the catch, and that's going to end the threat. The Hardhats strand the bases loaded, but they did just enough damage to get back on the board. It was 1 run on the power of a hit with 1 error charged to the Stars and 3 men left on base. We've played 5.5 innings of some high-pressure baseball, And we are deadlocked at 5 aside here on Rivalry Night. Post 320 comes to bat in just a few moments in the bottom of the 6th here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Holden Jackson's back on the mound for the Hardhats as we go now to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Post 22 tied the ball game in the top half of this frame. Bunt is showed by Eric Gonzalez, and it's a called strike as he pulls back 0-1 to lead off the bottom half of the 6th. Back to where we started the last inning. Gonzalez, then back to the top of the order to Sally and Naaman. Post 320 at the plate. Here's the 0-1 from Jackson. Breaking ball, called strike. It broke right back in over the plate, and now it's 0-2.
Yeah, you want to get ahead of the batters here. You want a 1-2-3 inning so you get back on the sticks there, Mark.
No balls, 2 strikes the count. Holden Jackson looking for his 4th K. 0-2 pitch. Swung on, and it's chopped foul. Gonzalez chased that one high, way out of the zone, and the count will hold at 0-2.
Great pitch there. He's got that slow curveball. That's real effective.
No balls, 2 strikes. Jackson, full windup, deals. Just missed low.
That was close, Mark.
1-2, very close. That was a well-placed 0-2 pitch, though, because with that knee area being called, and with Jackson's breaking ball being as deadly as it is, that could have easily been a whiff. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to right field. Zach Shumshin isn't even moving. And now he backtracks, and he makes the catch. F9 in the book. 1 up, 1 down for the Hardhats on defense. Brings us to Zane Sally back at the top of the order for the Stars.
That's good first out there.
So Gonzalez goes to 0 for 3, reaching on an error and coming around to score. Now we go to Zane Sally, who's 1 for 3. Struck out twice to Dylan Ritchie and singled off of him back in the bottom of the 5th. That was a big inning for both sides. First pitch from Jackson. He tries to show bunt, crossed. Either way, that was a strike, 0-1.
Going for the bunt single there. Not a bad idea, especially with 1 out. Keep the defense on their toes, Mark.
Yeah. Catch somebody asleep at the switch. Never know. And Sally's a center fielder. We've seen he's had the speed for it.
He's got the wheels.
0-1 pitch. He doesn't show bunt, and he looks at strike 2 inside, and
wow,
it's 0-2.
What a great pitch there. Fastball inside corner with movement.
No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Kid's got a great arm, Mark.
Jackson a full windup, and he deals. Swung on, and the ball's chopped to the left side. Hegre gets it, charging from third. Throw to first is off track, and it's off the glove of Jack Sorensen. Backing up with Schmidt, the catcher, to try and save just 1 base. So that'll be an E5. As Sally is safe on first, the 3rd error of the ballgame for the Hardhats.
Yeah, tough play by the third baseman. Slow chopper, and it would have been close at first anyways, but they're calling it an error, but it was a tough play.
So now, Camden Naaman comes up.
Those are the slow choppers that you see a lot of third basemen using their bare hands.
I actually think they're calling that a hit. Yeah, they've
called
it a hit.
Then
Wow.
it's a good hit.
Infield hit.
It was a tough play by the third baseman.
First pitch to Naaman is outside for ball 1. So an infield hit to Zane Sally.
It was a slow chopper.
1 ball, no strikes to count. To Camden Naaman. 2 for 3. Check to first. Scooped by Sorensen. And the count will hold at 1-0 to Naaman here. Naaman had an RBI single the last time he was up.
Yeah, on those slow choppers, you really, you're so aggressive on that chopper that you hurry the throw, and sometimes you overthrow it.
Another check to first, nearly made it in time, but Sally is back. One out, a man on first here in the bottom of the sixth. We are tied at 5 between the Stars and the Hardhats. Stars are at the plate. 1-0, runner goes. It's a called strike. Throw to second is off track, and then it skips off the base. Sally's going to go for third, and he will be safe. What a tough break that was against the Hardhats, and now the go-ahead runs 90 feet from home. 1-1's the count, as Sally originally broke to second, and it wasn't a bad throw, but how often does that bounce off the bag and ricochet into the outfield?
Yeah, it was a short hop throw. It didn't get there, and unfortunately hits the base and goes into the left field.
So a ball and a strike now the count, as Sally is all the way on third.
I'm sure the catcher's not happy with that throw, though.
And Camden Naiman has a chance for another RBI hit. Ball and a strike the count. Sac fly's also in play. The infield is in for the Hardhats, and the next pitch is a breaking ball low and away. 2-1.
As a second baseman there, a shortstop, if it's low like that to the ground, you just want to stop it before the base.
2 balls and a strike.
Easier said than done, though, Mark.
Jackson deals, and that just misses outside. 3-1. Well, it's the equivalent almost of trying to block your shot. You want to square yourself up to it, so you have to put yourself in a square position of the ball that maybe it hits your shoulder. You just bat it down.
Yeah, well, I think the second baseman thought he had a chance if he gloved it to tag the runner out.
3-1 is fouled, and now Naiman is behind 3-2, or rather, he's got a full count of 3-2.
Just like those hits that hit the base sometimes.
All right.
Goes in the outfield for doubles.
Big payoff pitch coming from Jackson. Infield's in. Go ahead run on third. 3-2 is low and inside, ball 4. Jackson not happy with himself there. So now it's men on the corners. If there's ever any silver lining, double plays in effect to end the inning. And so that's what you're going to see. You're going to see the corners in, and you're going to see the middle infield at double play depth. With men on the corners, Ian Crump comes up. 1 out. Double play ball in effect to get the Hardhats out of the jam. Both teams have not turned one yet. Jackson from the stretch. First pitch. Just missed low. Fastball under the knees of Crump. It's 1-0. Crump had an RBI double the last time he was up. He's 1 for 3, also with a pair of strikeouts. Here comes the 1-0. Swung on. Ball is hit high in the air to the shallow part of right center. Sumption is underneath it. Sumption makes the catch. No, he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. And the Stars are back on top. They called out the runner at second. Sumption was right underneath it. He must have lost that at the last second. He dropped the ball. A crucial third error. An E9, and the run scores, and the Stars now have a 6-5 lead. So it's a man on first with 2 outs as Crump reaches on the E9. And that will bring up Carter Stonecipher, who was responsible for the 2-run jack back in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, errors are costing both teams tonight. Another one there.
First pitch, a called strike from Jackson to Stonecipher. It's 0-1. They have 4 errors against the Hardhats, and I don't know why they would, unless they're calling the throw to second an error. 1-1 pitch. Missed outside. Well, now it's 1-1.
Yeah, wasn't that an error, though, on the right fielder, not catching the ball?
The error on the right fielder was correct. I think trying to get the steal at second, I think they may have ruled that an error.
Maybe.
I'm not too sure. Next pitch. Breaking ball, call it strike.
Error on the catcher, probably.
Probably, yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Jackson looking for a big strikeout to get out of this. 2-2 pitch. Swung on it. Oh, caught him looking. Strike 3, and that's going to end it. And the Hardhats get out of the jam, only allowing 1 run. 1 run on 1 hit 2 errors charged to the Hard Hats. 1 man left on first. We've played 6 innings of baseball, and Post 320's back on top. They have a 6-5 lead. We'll take a step aside and be right back with the top of the 7th in just a few moments here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hard Hats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. 6 innings of baseball in the books, and this one has been very interesting, to say the least, in the last 2 frames of play. The Hard Hats trail the Stars 6-5 heading into the top of the 7th here. For Post 22, it's 5 runs on 9 hits with 4 errors in the field. I think arguments could be made for 3, though. And on the other side for the Stars, it's 6 runs on 8 hits with 1 blemish on defense. Mark Benetti and Rapid City Rush head coach Daniel Tatro alongside you as Jack Sorensen leads off the top of the 7th for the Hard Hats. Sorensen 1 for 2, a pair of ribbies. And his first pitch is hit high in the air to right center field. That ball has some legs underneath it. In right field, it's Naiman, and Naiman against the wall can't make the catch. Sorensen is going to hang on at second with a lead-off double. A clutch hit for the Hard Hats, and now the tying run's in scoring position, and that's going to bring us to Jace Caldwell, the DH.
I believe the right fielder got hurt on that play as well. Slow getting up, but opposite field there, almost opposite field home run. That was hit a long ways.
That went right. That went basically at the halfway point of the Midco sign out there in right, Tats. And you're exactly right. I think he was about 7 feet shy of a homer.
Yeah, not that far off.
And the right fielder, Camden Naiman, is saying that he's all right. The coach for Post 320 went out to make sure, but he stopped him right as he got to the pitcher's mound and said, "No, I'm good. Part of the game."
Tough kid there in the right field.
Those outfield collisions against the wall are no joke, though.
No. And what are the wood wall here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that YouTube video where that guy went right through the wall,
yes,
center field? That was about, what, 10, 15 years ago?
I think so.
That was unbelievable.
Here comes Jace Caldwell, the DH. He squared up to bunt, pulled back, and it's ball 1 low and inside. 1-0 the count. I don't disagree with that bunt call there, but you've got to lay it down.
Yep.
Hard Hats tried this earlier, went right back to the mound.
You got to love the leadoff double, though, to start off an inning.
Makes the bunt call that much easier. Sorensen leads off a second. Stonecipher ready to charge from first. Caldwell drops the bunt, perfectly placed down the third base line. And Nesland on the mound's going to hang on to it. What a perfectly placed bunt signal for Jace Caldwell. And now it's men on the corners with no one out. And that's going to bring up Zach Sumption.
Never mind the sacrifice. Let's get a bunt base hit. And that's what he did right there. Perfectly placed.
Carter Nesland did everything that he could, and he fielded it as well as he could. Obviously, Stonecipher's coming in from first to charge, so second's got to cover the bag. He's got to make sure he knows who he's throwing to.
Especially with the left-handed pitcher, he's got to spin around to make the throw to first, so it makes it harder. Great play.
First pitch to Sumption, swung on and missed.
Second base open here, too.
0-1 the count to Sumption, who is looking for his first hit of the game. Sumption came into this ball game hitting .147, and he's 0 for 3 tonight. Major slump for him. 0-1, called strike on the outside corner, and now he's in an 0-2 hole.
Below the Mendoza line.
Way below. What's the Mendoza line, 207?
200.
200.
I think.
No balls and 2 strikes the count. Nesland needs a big K here. He's a pitch away from it. 0-2's upstairs. Runner goes for second, and Caldwell's going to take second. So a defensive indifference puts him in scoring position, and that was very clutch because if Sumption had somehow struck out and Caldwell didn't take second, double plays in effect to strand the tying run.
Correct.
Very good aware base running there for Caldwell. Ball and 2 strikes now to Sumption. And Neslin deals. Swung on, and it's ripped just foul down the first base line. And the count will hold at 1-2.
Good swing there.
Threw his hands at it, outside pitch.
Any close pitch you got to swing at. Protect the plate here.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
You don't want to get caught looking.
Neslin from the stretch. 1-2 to Sumption. Way outside, and the ball skips to the backstop, and another pass ball is going to tie the game up for the Hardhats. Caldwell 90 feet away from giving back the lead to post 22. How about this? No outs. You were looking at a sacrifice bunt. That was laid down to perfection for a hit. With no outs, you've got the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Sumption has a 2-2 count. We are tied at 6.
Another costly pass ball there.
Sorensen scores. Caldwell's on third. Crucial at bat here for Sumption. If he gets out of this slump, could give the Hardhats the lead. 2-2 pitch is fought off, foul again, through his hands at the outside pitch. And it goes opposite field out of play. Still 2-2.
That's the way to stay alive, though. Making the pitcher work, Mark.
And look, if you're Sumption here, if you're still in this slump, exactly right. Make him work. If you're going to get out, make him go through hell and back. 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3.
Good eye. Making him work.
And now the count goes full. The infield's in to try and prevent the go-ahead run. Sumption has one mission, hit it over the head of the infielders. Payoff pitch. Low and away, ball 4. And Zach Sumption is issued a walk.
Good eye there. Low ball.
So Sumption's on base for the first time. It's men on the corners with no one out. That brings up Matt Hegre. And now, Coach Downs is going to have a quick word here with Carter Neslin, his reliever.
That was a close pitch to take, but good eye.
How about this for Sumption? You're in a slump. You fouled off a number of pitches. You got in a battle here. You get the walk. You started off this inning with a double. Had Caldwell try to drop the sacrifice bunt. Instead, he bunts for a hit. Now all of a sudden you have a tie ball game on a pass ball. Men on the corners. The double play does not end the inning. If anything, a double play, unless they really do a good job of checking the runner at third, is going to score the go-ahead run. I mean, if you're at post 22, you're in the driver's seat right here.
Yeah, you are. Plus second base is open. They're going to try to steal it.
And Sumption's a right fielder. He's got some wheels too.
Yep.
He could easily take second. Matt Hegre, 0 for 3 on the ball game. Struck out the last time he was up. Only the second of 2 issued by Neslin in relief.
It'd be a good time to get a hit after an 0-3 start.
Middle infield's at double play depth. First pitch is fouled. 0-1 the count. I think he swung at ball 1 inside there. No balls and a strike the count. 6-6 is the score. Hardhats are trying to get the lead back for the first time since the 5th inning. Next pitch is low. The pitch is blocked. Caldwell's going to stay put on third, taking second Sumption.
It actually got by the catcher, but it, fortunately for 320, it hit the umpire's leg there, or else that's another run.
On another pass ball?
Yeah.
That's 2 runs scored in the last 2 innings on pass balls. If that was a third, that would have been a travesty for this team. No more double play depth. Infield is in. Everybody on the fringe. Ball and a strike the count here to Matt Hegre. And now they're calling a balk. And the Hardhats have the lead on the balk. Caldwell's going to come in from third, and it's a 7-6 Hardhats lead. Oh, my goodness.
Costly miscues.
Hegre was looking at a 1-1 pitch and 2 men in scoring position. Now, his team has the lead, and he has a chance with no outs and a man 90 feet to his left to add to it. Next pitch, ripped up the middle and into center for a base hit. And coming home to score for the Hardhats is Zach Sumption. It gets by Sally in center field. And hanging on at second with the RBI double is Matt Hegre, and it's now an 8-6 Hardhats lead.
Great piece of hitting there, opposite field. And now it's a 2-run lead. That's a big run.
And it's now another runner in scoring position. 0 outs. Here comes Ryan Schmidt, the catcher. Schmidt is 2 for 3. He is hitting back-to-back at-bats, most recently a double. That helped the Hardhats tie the game in the top of the 6th. He was subbed out for a courtesy runner that eventually came to score that tying run. First pitch to Schmidt, outside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. And now there is action in the 320 bullpen. As I believe Ren Svensson, who's come in to to courtesy run for the pitcher on a number of occasions, is warming up. Tall righty. Ball and no strikes to count. And the pitch. Called strike. Fastball at his knees. 1-1 to Schmidt. Man on second, Matt Hegre. RBI double put him there. There are still no outs here in the top of the 7th. The Hardhats have plated 3 runs. They have an 8-6 lead. Neslin from the stretch looks at second. 1-1 is fouled off, and now it's a ball and 2 strikes. Discrepancy between the scorebook and the scoreboard, as it should be a 1-2 count, now not a 2-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan Schmidt. 2 for 3, fresh off of a double. He's hitting back-to-back at-bats. Neslin deals. Low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Schmidt has a man in second. The Hardhats have plated 3 to take an 8-6 lead here in the top of the 7th. Neslin looks at second. Next pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that is his 3rd strikeout in relief and a crucial first out for 320 on defense. With a man on second, that's going to bring up Branson Keel for a chance to keep adding to this now 8-6 Hardhats lead.
Yeah, you want to keep piling on the runs there. A lot of ball game left.
And
I believe we're playing 9 innings tonight, Mark?
That's my assumption.
Okay.
I believe we are, yes.
Usually it's 7, correct?
It depends. Depends on what's agreed upon.
Okay.
Runner goes. First pitch is low, and they're going to let him take third. Solid base running for Matt Hegre, who's now put himself 90 feet from giving the Hardhats a 9th run. 1-0 the count here to Branson Keel. The runner 90 feet to his left. Keel is 0 for 3. Reached on an error the last time he was up. That was the error to the second baseman that we were talking about. Infield is now in to try and prevent Hegre from scoring. Keel needs a big hit here. 1-0, called strike, fastball. And that's 1-1. Matt Hegre, 90 feet to his left on third.
Yeah, you got to cash him in here, especially with less than 2 outs.
1-1. Pitch is low, and it's blocked. 2 balls and a strike.
A little arm fatigue now from 320 pitcher.
Neslin is about to throw his 53rd pitch.
Yep.
In only 2 innings of relief.
And they're getting a good read off his throws now.
2-1. Swung on, and that ball's hit high in the air to right. Underneath it is Naaman, and he dropped it in front. And coming in to score is Matt Hegre. An RBI bloop single for Branson Keel. And it's now a 9-6 Hardhats lead with 1 out and a man on first here at the top of the 7th.
Take what the pitcher gives you, and outside corner pitch, and went the opposite way. Great hit. Cashed him in.
Back to the top of the order we go to Mason Messenger, who is 1 for 3 with a single, a run scored, and a walk. Neslin looks at the man on first and Keel. He showed bunt, pulled back, but it's a called strike. 0-1 the count here to Messenger. Hardhats have a 9-6 lead now. RBI single for Branson Keel brought in the most recent run. No balls and a strike. Check to first. And back was Keel. That left-handed throw over to first looked like it caught him by surprise a bit.
Yeah, he's got a good pickoff move. Those lefties can be deceiving.
And they have the easiest path to throw for a pickoff. They're looking right at the base.
Yeah, they have an advantage. That's for sure.
0-1 is high and way outside, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike here for Messenger. Hardhats have a 9-6 lead. They have plated 4 runs here in the top of the 7th. Still 1 out. Rivalry night version 1 out of 2 in the next 2 weeks. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Connor King is on deck if the double play doesn't end the inning. If it does, 320 has 5, 6, and 7 due up, starting off with the pitcher turned third baseman, Dawson Pentecoff. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. And now I think you can really see that fatigue from Neslin because his location not nearly as crisp as it was when he started.
Yeah, it might be his last batter, maybe. Who knows?
Well, Svensson's been waiting in that bullpen. He threw a couple of warm-up pitches and now has just been waiting. Next pitch, runner goes, but it's low and inside for ball 4.
I believe that'll be it for him.
I think you're right there, Tets. As now with men on first and second and 1 out, Connor King's going to come up. Quick visit on the mound here with the catcher, Hunt. I don't see any motion for Svensson.
No, because it's a left-handed hitter. So they're going to pitch to the left-handed hitter here.
Well, I got to play the matchup. So then this might be his last batter.
This might be it. Yep.
Connor King, 1 for 3 with a single, a run scored, and a walk. In between the single and the walk, he flew out twice to right and left field. He has men on first and second with 1 out in the top of the 7th. 9-6 lead for his Hardhats club. And Neslin's first pitch. King tried to show bunt and he crossed. 0-1 the count.
Not a bad idea. Try to bunt for another single, Mark.
Well, he can definitely do it.
And he's got the speed to do it. Looks like a speedster.
Oh, yeah. Connor can run. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, called strike. Beautifully placed by Neslin. He's in the driver's seat, 0-2.
Nice curveball there. Slow one, too.
No balls and 2 strikes the count. Neslin looking for his 4th strikeout. This might be his last batter in relief. We'll see. 0-2 pitch. Low and away, but a good snag by Hunt. 1-2. Hunt was very quick with that glove. If he didn't get that ball, that's 2 men in scoring position.
Yeah.
Once again, pass balls, wild pitches, they've really come back to bite 320. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball too far inside, and the count evens up at 2-2.
Went back with the curveball.
And not a bad pitch, especially inside, because it's already called up. It's already been called a strike on King inside. So why not go back to it? Lefty on lefty, too. It makes it interesting. 2-2 pitch. Low and away. And the count goes full. Nice fastball for Neslin. He's still showing good velocity, but his location's been suspect.
Yeah, a little arm fatigue here, and the hitter's really battling here, making him throw. 3-2 count.
Big payoff pitch coming up for Neslin. And he deals. Swung on, and the ball is hit to third. Stop is made on the play by Pentecoff. He's going to touch the bag and get the lead runner for the easy out. So it's 5 unassisted fielder's choice to bring Connor King on the base path. Outgoing to third is Keel. And advancing to second, Mason Messenger. Men on first and second, 2 outs now. And the Hardhats have officially batted through the lineup with now Cooper Bowman slated to hit.
Yeah, Cooper's hit the ball well tonight. He hit one off the wall, I believe. Almost out of here a couple of innings ago.
Bowman's 3 for 4. Flew out to center field the last time he was up. That was with the bases loaded. Men on first and second. First pitch missed low. 1-0. And Neslin looks like he's going to stay out there to take on Bowman. I guess we were wrong on multiple fronts. Ball and no strikes to count to the Hardhat shortstop. 9-6 is the Hardhats lead over the Stars. 2 outs, men on first on second here in the top of the 7th. And they'll take a look at second, step off the rubber. Neslin does. Still waiting on the 1-0 pitch.
I just don't know why you'd be worried about the runners right now with 2 outs, Mark, in a 9-6 game.
Ball and no strikes. Neslin deals. Called strike. Fastball outside corner. It's 1-1. And if anything, Tets, that would play into the offensive team because the batter has the mental edge over him worrying about somebody other than himself. The runner has the mental edge over him that if he forces him into an error trying to get him out, he could go easily 1 or 2 bases depending on what happens. There's no reason to worry about that. You're absolutely right. Next pitch is a curveball outside, 2-1. Like we said, game of cat and mouse.
Yep.
2 balls and a strike to count. Messenger on second, King on first. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Hardhats have plated 4. It's a 9-6 lead. 2-1. Inside, and it's off the glove, and everybody's going to advance again. Hunt couldn't hang on to that pitch inside. And now it's 2 men in scoring position for Cooper Bowman and a 3-1 count.
Hunt's having trouble tonight, especially with the pass balls, and now maybe not seeing the ball right.
So 3 balls and a strike to count. If Bowman walks, we'll go back to the man that started off this entire inning with a double, and that was Jack Sorensen. Felt like eons ago. 3-1 pitch. Called, strike. Bowman thought it was a walk.
Outside corner pitch for a strike.
He's going to have to wait 1 more pitch if he wants the free pass, or he's going to have to put the ball in play or walk back to the dugout. 1 pitch, so many possibilities. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. To Cooper Bowman, first base is open, second and third occupied. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Neslin deals, breaking ball outside, it's ball 4. And so Bowman keeps the inning going, bases loaded, as we will see the 10th Hardhats batter of the inning.
And a dangerous one that is.
Absolutely right. Jack Sorensen, what a night he's had. Sac fly RBI in the first, fly out to center in the 4th, RBI single in the 5th, leadoff double, and a run scored in this inning. So he is batting twice in this inning against Neslin. First pitch, called strike at his knees. 0-1. Sorensen has every base occupied and 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. He could blow the roof off the scoreboard with a solid hit. Oh, 1 pitch. Missed low. And it passed through Hunt behind home plate, but it didn't trickle far enough for anybody to try and take the base ahead.
Yeah, he's having trouble getting that glove down. Garrett Hunt, that is.
Garrett Hunt. Coach Tatro referencing
that his first name, Garrett?
Wyatt Hunt.
You
were referencing the former captain of the Alaska Aces.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That was Garrett Hunt, the notorious ECHL pugilist. 1-1. Pitches outside.
That's why I was confused.
2-1. He had what, 1,400, 1,500 PIMs with Stockton?
Yeah.
I think in his career at Stockton.
And got a brand new Corvette out of it.
Oof, right? Jeez. He's with the Jacksonville Icemen now with the Smurf, Coach Christie down there in Florida. 2-1 to Sorensen. Pitch. Just missed outside.
3-1 here. Green light, that's for sure.
Right. 3 balls and a strike. Base is loaded. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Head equipment manager Patrick Dolan, listening to this broadcast, said he is also the current captain of Jacksonville.
P. Diddy.
3-1. Swung on and missed.
There was a green light swing.
Sorensen chasing the high heat, and now the count's full.
Big payoff pitch here, Mark.
Can either keep the inning going, another batter, or could end it. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Hardhats have plated 4. They have a 9-6 lead. Carter Neslin trying to get out of this and end the inning that's already seen 10 batters. Payoff pitch. Low, ball 4. An RBI base on balls for Jack Sorensen, and it's now a 10-6 Hardhats lead. Bases still loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, and that'll bring up Jace Caldwell for the 2nd time in this frame.
Another dangerous hitter coming up here. You know what I liked about Caldwell was his bunt single. Wasn't it Caldwell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's coming off of. So now here comes Caldwell. Bases loaded. 2 for 4. Both of his hits are infield hits. First pitch fouled, and then it hit the ump in the mask.
Right off the umpire. He's tough, though. Look at him.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a wily old veteran back there.
That's normally the persona that umpires give
What's
off.
his name, the umpire? Oh, they don't give you those stats?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they
that
don't.
Information? I think he's doing a great job calling the game.
He's done a fantastic job.
You can tell he's a smart veteran back there.
No balls in to strike the count here to Caldwell. And here is the 0-1. Outside, off the glove. Another ball off the glove of the catcher, and another run's going to come in to score. Wyatt Hunt couldn't hang on to that one, and coming in from third is Connor King, and it's now an 11-6 Hardhats lead. They have plated 6 runs in this inning.
Not only the pitcher getting tired, but the catcher as well. Mental fatigue, it's wearing on him.
So the pitch outside and away was ball 1, so that'll be a ball and a strike now to Caldwell. 2 men in scoring position for him, 2 outs. That's 3 pass balls in this inning, 2 that have directly led to runs. Here is the 1-1. Curveball, and that's another one that gets away. They're going to call that strike 2. And coming in to score is Cooper Bowman, and now it's 12-6. Advancing to third is Sorensen. And Bowman again coming into the score. And the head coach looking to the umpire. Don't know what he would try to be discussing.
Maybe it was tipped by the batter, I'm not sure.
Well, I know Caldwell did check the swing.
Yeah.
And I thought he went through to warrant the strike 2 call. I don't think he touched it. I think us and the umpires have the best view. What did you think?
No idea.
So now it's a ball and 2 strikes. It should be a ball and 2 strikes. And the next pitch is outside. Yeah, 2-2. That's exactly it. It's 2-2.
Well, it says 3-1 on the scoreboard, Mark.
The umpire just put up 2-2, though.
Okay. Good observation.
I made sure to look because I thought something was off. Here comes the 2-2. And that's outside, and the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jace Caldwell. The Hardhats came into this inning down 6-5. They have plated 7 runs. The most recent ones with 2 outs. Payoff from Nesland. Swung on, and it's dropped. Strike 3 was dropped. It wasn't fouled. And that will end the top half of the 7th inning. 7 runs plated by the Hardhats on 4 hits. There were no errors charged to 320, and there was 1 man left on third. We have played 6.5 innings of baseball. Everybody get up and stretch, except Coach Tatro and I, because we're already standing. Hardhats now have a 12-6 lead heading into the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back here on ESPN Rapid City and Hardhats-TV. That top half of the 7th inning took a while to get through, but it benefited the Hardhats, who just put up a 7 spot here against Post 320. And what was at one point a very, very close affair, Tats has now turned into the Hardhats potentially running away with it. Still plenty of baseball to go as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Dawson Pentecoff leads off for the Stars, and he fouls off his first pitch down the third baseline. 0-1 the count here to Pentecoff, who comes in 0 for 2. Having reached on an error, struck out looking, and was also hit by a pitch. Olden Jackson still on the mound in relief. 4 strikeouts in relief for Jackson. Next pitch swung on, and that's pushed into left, and that's going to drop for a base hit. And it looks like it's going to go to the corner. Pentecoff is rounding first, but he's going to slam the brakes and head right back. Good fielding by Keel out there in left to get it to the relay man and limit the damage to only a single. So a leadoff single for Pentecoff here in the bottom of the 7th, and that'll bring us to Wyatt Hunt. No relation to Garrett Hunt, who we had mentioned earlier, by the way. Former captain of the Aces, current captain of the Jacksonville Icemen.
Yeah, my bad there. Got confused.
Hey, we needed a couple of hockey references.
Yes.
We have you here with us. We're going to have to make a few more of them before the evening's over. First pitch to Hunt is upstairs for ball 1.
As a pitcher here, you got a 12-6 lead. You just want to throw strikes.
Look, Jackson's pitching well enough that if he can get the strikeout, fantastic. If not, you've got a perfectly capable defense behind you.
Yep.
1-0, swung on, and it's hit to the left side. Bowman gets it on a hop. Bobble to second for one,
Wow.
and he got the lead runner. My goodness. If you blinked, you would have missed that throw from Cooper Bowman to second. He gets the lead runner, so it'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice that puts Hunt on the base path.
What a great play after a little bobble there. Another short hop. Tough hop.
And now he's going to give way to Mason Russell, who will a courtesy run. So we have one out here, and as we had mentioned on the broadcast before, pitchers and catchers, if they are batting, they are allowed courtesy runners in this rivalry matchup. So anytime they make to the base path, they can be substituted for a runner. 1 on, 1 out, and that's going to bring up Devin Jacobs. Looks at a first pitch strike from Jackson.
They get the infielders got way tougher hops than the major leaguers, because major leaguers, they got an off-ice crew, off-field crew that they clean up the dirt after every inning. That makes a big difference, Mark.
Here comes the 0-1. Swung on, and that ball's ripped into left. It's going to drop for a base hit, and it goes off the leg of Keel, but Keel limits the damage. Trying to go to third, and out by a mile on the play is Wyatt Hunt's pinch runner, Mason Russell. Great fielding by Keel that initially looked like a breakdown, but Keel got it to Bowman. Bowman, a great throw to third. So give a single there to Jacobs, and out at third is Russell, the courtesy runner for Hunt.
A little too aggressive on the base pads there. Got caught at third base, but, it hit the left fielder's leg, fortunately, or else it could have went all the way back to the wall mark, and it could have been inside the Parker.
And now Carter Neslin comes up, the pitcher. The only lefty that we've seen so far from the Stars in the batting order. He comes in for the place of Grayson Skinner, who was at third to start the game. He looks at ball one, then pushes one opposite field. It's going to land in front of Keel for a base hit. So another hit in the inning will advance Jacobs to second. And we'll put Neslin on base. His first at-bat of the ball game, and that brings us now to the 9-hole hitter, Eric Gonzalez. Gonzalez on the ball game is 0 for 3. He's lined out to right. He's flown out to right. And he has reached on an error and come around to score.
Any relation to Juan Gonzalez? Remember Juan Gonzalez?
I remember Juan Gonzalez.
Famous Texas Ranger.
I have no idea if there's
Power
any
hitter.
relation. Very much a power hitter.
Juan Gonzalez.
My goodness.
Back in the early 90s.
You look back at the Rangers, they've been known for power hitting.
Oh, big time.
Prince Fielder, A-Rod while he was down there, Pudge.
Yep.
First pitch to Rodriguez, a called strike. Outside corner at his knees.
Hamilton.
Yeah. I saw him the year in the home run derby. I was at the home run derby the year he lit it up in Yankee Stadium.
Wow.
It was incredible.
Yeah, he could hit a ball a long ways.
0-1 pitch. Misses low. Nice block. The runner take third. Schmidt, the throw is not in time. Hegre can't believe it. He thought he had it, but that was awfully close.
No, didn't tag him. Missed the tag.
So Jacobs advances to third. Staying on first is Svensson, who came in to courtesy run for Neslin. So now it's men on the corners and 2 outs. And look, you got to credit 320. They have to play aggressive baseball at this point. Down 6, you got to get something started for your team.
But the famous Ranger of all, Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan. Texas Heat.
Yeah.
1-1 to Gonzalez, and that misses high, 2-1. Men on the corners for Gonzalez here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. His team is down 12-6 to the Hardhats. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Misses low. 3-1. Holden Jackson now starting to run into a tad bit of trouble.
Yeah, and a little arm fatigue as well, again.
He's about to throw his 46th pitch in for what would be 3 innings of relief for him. Took over for Dylan Ritchie, who went 4+. Struck out 6, walked 1, allowed 5 runs, only 4 of which were earned on 6 hits. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit to short. Bowman gets the stop on the hop to second for the easy out, and that's going to end it. 6-4, fielder's choice ends the bottom half of the 7th. No runs for the Stars on 3 hits. No errors charged to the Hardhats. And 2 men left on the base path. We have played 7 innings of baseball, and the Hardhats still have their 12-6 lead intact. We'll be right back in just a few moments with a new pitcher on the mound for the Stars here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 320 is now about to use their third pitcher of the ball game. Ian Crump is now pitching for 320. I don't happen to have a 1 on my roster, so there is a mystery man right now on short. Keegan Cast. Okay, we're going to go with that just to be safe. Crump comes in relief, a right-handed pitcher, and his first pitch is upstairs for ball 1, thrown to Zach Sumption to lead off the top half of the 8th. And the next pitch misses out, 2-0. "82 pitches for Carter Nesland. The next one nearly hit Sumption, and it's 3-0. Nesland ended up going only 2 innings. He gave up 5 hits. 3-0's upstairs for ball 4. Sumption is issued a 4-pitch leadoff walk. That'll bring up Matt Hegre with the man on first and no one out here in the top of the 8th inning. Hardhats with a 12-6 lead. Nesland ended up striking out 4. He gave up 8 runs. And the first pitch to Hegre misses low and away for ball 1. And of those runs, all of them were earned. So 8 earned runs, that's going to balloon his ERA. Next pitch to Hegre's upstairs, 2-0. He has a man on first, no one out here in the top of the 8th. It's a 12-6 Hardhats lead.
6 straight balls, too, to start.
Not a good start here for Crump, moving in from shortstop. Next pitch, upstairs, make it 7 in a row for ball 3.
Can't find the zone. It's like playing beanbag, you can't find the hole.
Yeah. Here comes the 3-0. And that's high and away, ball 4, and it's back-to-back 4-pitch walks for Crump in relief. And that's going to bring up Ryan Schmidt, the catcher, and now we'll have a brief conference on the mound.
And the pitching coach.
So a quick conference allows us to recap how we got to this point. Hardhats started off with a 1-0 lead in the first inning, carried that all the way to the 5th, put up a 3-spot to take a 4-0 lead, but then things kind of imploded for the Hardhats. They gave up 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th, surrendered the lead, went down 5-4. The next inning, both teams each traded runs at 1 apiece. 6-5 was the 320 lead. We get to the top of the 7th, and all of a sudden the Hardhats put up a 7-spot, and now they have their 12-6 lead as it stands. First pitch ball to Ryan Schmidt. 2 men on by 4 pitch free passes. Next pitch is a called strike. And now Crump hits the zone for his first strike in 10 pitches. 1-1. First and second here for Schmidt. And the next pitch is low, and it's blocked by Hunt. 2-1. Crump quickly goes to work from the stretch. Doesn't give us much time to talk. 2-1, missed low and away, and it's 3-1.
Just can't find the strike zone right now. If I'd be post 22, you just take all the way.
Take until he starts hitting.
Exactly.
3-1. Upstairs. Ball 4. That is back-to-back-to-back walks to start off this inning. And that's now going to bring us back to Branson Keel, the 9-hole hitter.
You don't want to walk another one here. Be like Rick Vaughn.
Yeah, right. First pitch to Keel is high and away for ball 1. Branson Keel, fresh off of an RBI single the last time he was up. He is 1 for 4. 1-0. That's a called strike. Second strike thrown by Crump on 15 pitches in relief. 1-1. Every base occupied. Schmidt on first. Hegre on second. Sumption on third. And the next pitch is a ball, 2-1. Crump moving quickly from the stretch. Deals. Swung on, ball's fouled right over our heads. That's the first pitch he even swung at this inning. 2-2.
2-2.
16 pitches and only 1 was swung at. 2 balls, 2 strikes. High from Crump, it's 3-2. And he's a pitch away on this payoff pitch from knocking in a run and issuing 4 consecutive walks.
And no one's warming up in the bullpen either.
Payoff pitch.
Oh.
Upstairs, ball 4, and it's an RBI base on balls for Branson Keel. Everybody's going to advance a base. Coming in to score is Sumption, who led off the inning with a 4-pitch walk. Hegre's on third, Schmidt's on second. Back to the top of the order we go to Mason Messenger. No one out, every base occupied. And it's now a 13-6 Hardhats lead. First pitch is a fastball low and away for ball 1.
No, I would take all the way.
Got a feel for Crump here because he looks frustrated. 1-0. Misses low. Hunt gets the block, and it's 2-0.
Not a good feeling.
His velocity's there, but it's almost as if he's gripping the ball too tight. So when he's followed through, comes down, it's just going to keep sinking. 2-0. Upstairs, 3 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, he's clearly frustrated. You got to feel bad for him.
And you're right, still
I
no
wouldn't
action.
keep him in too much longer, though.
Pitch away from back-to-back RBI walks. And the 3-0. Low, ball 4. And now Messenger
That'll be it.
gets an RBI walk. And now the coaching staff comes out to have a word, maybe even a change.
Well, it's a second mound visit, isn't it? Or is there a
Um,
limit? Oh, that's it.
yeah, that's it.
Oh, they did have a guy warming up. Just couldn't see him.
So Crump will exit the ball game now.
And we're at 14 runs now. 2 more runs, and that's a mercy rule, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. The Stars would get a chance to bat in the bottom half of this inning, but the Hardhats have already played it too.
Bases loaded.
Exactly. And so now a pitching change here for the Stars as Ian Crump technically didn't even pitch an inning.
It's got to be frustrating for 320. You know, they had the lead after that big home run, had all the momentum. They had 2 outs, routine fly ball to second, and an error by the second baseman caused the whole rally. That was the turning point.
2 runs allowed on no hits and 5 walks issued. And now coming in is Austin Lundy, the 4th pitcher used by post 320. Big righty, and it looks just off his first couple of warm-up pitches, he can fire it.
Yeah. Reminds me of Bartolo Colon a bit out there. Same number and everything.
Bartolo Colon, I can't remember if it was today or yesterday,
Just turned 45. Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, this guy's got the same style, same heat.
Quite a journeyman, Bartolo Colon, but you know what? What a career he put together.
Unbelievable. He's 45 still throwing.
Right. That's what gets me.
But now he's all finesse now.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he lost velocity.
Right. And if you need him to, he can crank out a home run.
That just shows you how throwing strikes and keeping the hitters off balance, keeping it low in the strike zone, you can make a long career out of it.
Right. Absolutely correct. Ryan Schmidt's on third, Branson Keel's on second, Mason Messenger on first. The latter two with RBI walks. And coming in to pitch now is Austin Lundy, who took over for Ian Crump, who, again, he didn't register an out. Therefore, he technically pitched 0 innings.
Yeah.
Gave up 2 runs, and he's still responsible for the 3 gentlemen on the base path. So if any of those gentlemen cross, his run count will go up. All of them earned, obviously. You know, that's the one thing that always got me about baseball, going back to Bartolo Colon. You could be old, really, really old, and still play it. Yeah. I mean, Julio Franco was, what, 49 when he retired?
Yeah,
51? Something around there.
Yeah.
He may have been in his 50s.
Miguel Tejada was about 55, but his birth certificate was a little off there, Benner.
It's just a tad bit.
No.
Jose Canseco got back in the game. He's playing. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Rafael Palmeiro.
That's playing. He just hit a home run the other day.
He did, that's right. I mean, granted, it's some kind of independent league he's playing in, but you know what? He's still playing at the age he's playing.
Raffy.
Here comes Connor King to take on Austin Lundy for the first time. And the first pitch is high and outside, ball 1. 22 pitches, by the way, for Crump in that relief appearance. Here comes the 1-0 to King with the bases loaded. And that, did it hit him? Oh, the ball skipped away, so everybody's going to at least advance a base, and now it's a 15-6 Hardhats lead. I don't know if it hit him or not. That ball took an awkward bounce, but it might have gone off of the catching paraphernalia.
Pass ball again.
King's having a quick word, but you're right. So Messenger's on second. Schmidt comes in to score on the pass ball, and Branson Keel's now on third. 2-0 to King with 2 men in scoring position. It's a 15-6 Hardhats lead. And what was at one point a nail-biting back and forth, anything you can do, I can do better ball game, the Hardhats have scored 10 runs in the last 2 innings. 2-0 to King, missed outside. It's 3-0. And King's a pitch away from what would be the 6th walk of the inning. 3 runs scored, not a single hit recorded. Here comes the 3-0. And that is a called strike. And it's now 3 balls and a strike. Austin Lundy, the 4th pitcher used in the 2nd one in this inning. 3-1. Swung on, ball's hit right up the middle. Off the glove of Lundy, and then it goes off the glove of Jacobs. Jacobs can't get the throw to first. A run comes in to score, and the Hardhats now have a 16-6 lead with men on the corners. Still no one out here in the top of the 8th. Their 4th run plated in the frame, and they're going to rule that an infield hit. So an RBI to Connor King. So now men on the corners, and that's going to bring up Cooper Bowman. As Branson Keel comes in to score. First hit of the inning, 4 runs plated. First pitch, called strike. 0-1 the starting count here to Bowman. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove. 0-2.
Big rip there.
So there have been 28 pitches thrown in this inning, and that is the 5th strike thrown.
It's not a good ratio.
No balls, 2 strikes. And Lundy deals. Runner goes, swung on, and it's pushed into right field. That's going to drop fair for a base hit. 1 run's going to come in and score. Rounding third and heading home is Connor King. Cooper Bowman's on his horse. He's going to come to third, and he's going to hang on with a bases clearing 2-run RBI triple, his 2nd one of the ball game. And the Hardhats now have an 18-6 lead. Still no one out here in the top of the 8th.
Well, this kid can hit, and he can run. Wow. He was running those bases like a gazelle.
Tets, that was labeled triple the whole way.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. He pushed it opposite field.
Slicing.
Between the right fielder and the foul line, there was a Mack truck-sized gap.
Yep.
He perfectly placed that. Yeah, he was thinking triple the whole way.
Oh, he can run.
Yeah. Cooper's an unbelievable athlete.
Yeah.
And, again, there's a reason why he's going to play Division I college ball with Hawaii next year. He can flat out play this game. He has a gift. And that's what's so special about calling at this level. When you see somebody that's got that gift,
yep,
it's incredible. Here comes Jack Sorensen. He's had a heck of a ball game. He has to duck from the first pitch. 1-0. Sorensen, sac fly RBI in the first, flew out to center in the fourth, RBI single in the fifth, leadoff double, came around to score in the seventh, RBI base on balls also in the seventh. So 3 ribbies for Sorensen. Next pitch, a called strike at his knees. It's 1-1. 18-6 is now the Hardhats lead. They have scored 17 runs in the last 4 innings. Next pitch to Sorensen, called strike, and it's 1-2. Bowman standing 90 feet to his left. One ball and 2 strikes to Sorensen. And Lundy deals. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air, but foul, first base side. And it lands to the left of whoever's warming up right now. It looks like Tad Sherbinski, I believe. Number 16, warming up for the Hardhats in the bullpen. So it looks like Holden Jackson's relief appearance might come to an end. Ball and 2 strikes to count. Lundy, full windup, deals to Sorensen. Swung on, ball's ripped to third. What a catch by Pentecoff. Right into his glove. A big first out, the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring us to Jace Caldwell with a man on third and now 1 out here in the top of the 8th.
Great play by the third baseman there. That thing was smoked. That's why they call it the hot corner.
First pitch. Low and away, ball 1 to Caldwell. Caldwell in the ball game is 2 for 5. Both of his hits infield hits. One of them was a bunt. Ball and no strikes his count with Bowman still on third. 1 out, top of the 8th. 1-0 is fouled. Off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1. Hardhats have an 18-6 lead. 17 of their 18 runs have been scored in the last 4 innings. 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 7 in the 7th, 6 here in the 8th. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That missed low and away, 2-1. On deck is Zach Sumption. He's the gentleman that led off this inning. So for a second time in this game, the Hardhats have batted through the order in an inning. Here comes the 2-1. Called strike in the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the 2-2 from Lundy. Just missed low and away, and the count goes full. Cooper Bowman's on third with 1 out here in the top of the 8th. The Hardhats have plated 6 on 2 hits. Payoff pitch is high and inside, ball 4. And Caldwell draws a walk. 6 walks in the inning. 2 hits and 1 registered out. Men on the corners, and we come back to the gentleman that started off the inning, and that is Zach Sumption. He led it off with a walk and came around to score 1 of now 6 runs. Sumption's 0 for 3, a pair of walks, a pair of runs scored. First pitch, fouled. Into the grandstand, first base side. Everybody's ducking, and it's over their heads. 0-1 the count here to Sumption.
Should have brought my uniform if they run out of pitchers.
Yeah, right?
Eh?
Might have to call the Tetnator out of retirement here. No balls and a strike to count. To Zach Sumption. 0-1, missed low and away. And it's a ball and a strike.
Probably blow my shoulder. It's been a while since I threw a baseball.
Really? You should play rec league softball with me one of these nights. I think you'd crush the ball.
Maybe.
Here comes the 1-1. Swung on, ball's hit to the left side of the infield. It trickles to third. Pentecoff on the run, bare hands, and he's going to eat the ball. So that's another infield single for the Hardhats, and that's Zach Sumption's first hit of the ball game in 6 plate appearances. Comes with 1 out. It advances Caldwell to second, loads the bases, and it brings up Matt Hegre.
You got to feel good going 0 for 5 with the walk, and you get a hit, infield hit. You don't feel left out.
Hegre is 1 for 4 with a walk and an RBI double, and he looks at strike 1 for his first pitch. 0-1 the count. Everybody in the ballgame has a hit, so he was the last one. 0-1 is fouled to the fencing in front of us, 0-2.
Good rip.
1 out, bases are loaded here in the top of the 8th. The Hardhats have an 18-6 lead. They have plated 6 runs to get to their 12-run advantage. 0-2. Nearly hit Hegre. Danced away from it. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Looked like a knuckler.
Not often you see the knuckler at this level.
No. The old R.A. Dickey style.
Oh, yeah. Tim Wakefield?
Yeah. Charlie Huff.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Wakefield was a good one.
1-2. Caught him looking. Strike 3. And that's the first strikeout in relief for Austin Lundy. 2 down. Bases loaded. Brings us to Ryan Schmidt, the catcher, for his second appearance of the inning. He walked and came around to score. 18-6 is the Hardhats lead. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. First pitch, too far inside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Every base occupied. Here comes a 1-0. Called strike. Breaking pitch inside just below the letters. It's 1-1. Schmidt on the ball game is 2 for 4. Single, a double, 2 runs scored, and he struck out once as well. And he's also walked. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, ball's hit high in the air to center field. Zane Sally's running on his horse, makes his, no, the ball went over his head. I thought he caught the ball. 2 runs come in to score. 3 runs come in to score. He has cleared the bases, and the Hardhats have a 21-6 lead with 2 outs and a man on second here in the top of the 8th.
That thing was ripped in center field. I also thought the center fielder made the catch there.
Right.
Off the tip of the glove, and 3 ribbies right there.
A 3-run RBI double.
Pinch runner.
And there's a courtesy runner coming in. That's Carter Deming coming in for him.
Deming.
Second time he's been on the base path. He scored the last time he was on. Pitch running. So now here comes Branson Keel, the man on second, 2 outs. Lundy from the stretch, first pitch. Called, strike at his knees. It's 0-1. Branson Keel had an RBI base on balls in this inning, so this is his second appearance.
It's hard to believe it was only 1-0 after the 4th.
Right.
Winner.
Now all of a sudden, 26 runs later combined. Next pitch swung on, hit right back up the middle. Stop is made at second by Jacobs. Throw to first is in time, and that will do it. The Hardhats have extended their cushion with 9 runs in the 8th inning on the power of 4 hits. 9 runs on 4 hits. No errors charged to the Stars. And 1 man left in scoring position. We have played 7.5 innings of baseball, and if the Hardhats can register 3 outs and not allow 6 runs, they will win this ball game. We'll take a quick step aside, folks. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 8th here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 is 3 outs away from taking win number 1 out of 2 rivalry matchups in the next 2 weeks. over their arch rivals, the Post 320 Stars. Holden Jackson is back on the mound in relief to finish this one off. It will be his 4th inning. And Jackson has been sensational in relief with 4 strikeouts to his credit. And he has only allowed 5 hits as well. Back to the top of the order for the Stars. They're down to their last 3 outs. They need 6 runs to keep this game going. If they get 5 or less, the game's over. Hardhats have a 21-6 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch. Swung on, and it's fouled by Sally. 0-1 the count. Sally started off 0 for 2 with back-to-back strikeouts, but then he picked it up with 2 singles. Came around both times on the base path to score in the 5th and 6th innings. Here comes the 0-1. That pitch misses low and away, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Mark Benetti and Rapid City Rush head coach Daniel Tatro alongside you for all the action tonight. Been an absolute pleasure to have the Tetnator back, reunited. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That skips low. 2 balls and a strike.
It's always fun calling games, Mark. Remember the hockey days?
Oh, the hockey days were great. The hockey days, I will never forget those. Some of the most fun I've ever had calling any professional sport or any sport, period. Here comes the 2-1. Called strike, a nice fastball from Jackson. It's 2-2. It was unfortunately short-lived because you left me to go back to the game.
Yep.
You played for the Allen Cup, lost in the championship in overtime.
Yep.
Southeast Prairie Thunder.
And that's the Senior Amateur Championship, national in Canada.
2-2. Swung on, ball's hit up the middle to short. Bowman gets it on the charge. His throw to first is in time.
What a play. This Bowman, I'm impressed.
6-3 in the book for him. Hardhats are 2 outs away from invoking the mercy rule for the win. That's going to bring up Camden Naiman, the right fielder. Naiman in the ball game is 2 for 3 with a walk, an infield single, an RBI single, and a run scored. 1 out, base path empty. First pitch. Low and inside, ball 1. It was a lot of fun, and that was a very interesting year for the Rush. They had just officially started playing the other divisional opponents. We got to see Idaho and Utah for the first time. Fouled off pitch for Naiman, evens the count at a ball and a strike. Got to see Colorado more than just twice.
Yep.
Now, that was a fun year.
It was. Next year, Florida and Atlanta come to town for the fans.
How do you feel about that?
That's great. Seeing different teams.
1-1. Low and inside, and it skips away. 2 balls and a strike.
And Florida, Colorado, they play tonight, game 1 of the finals.
Oh, that's right.
In Colorado.
Let's get a quick score check if we can.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch. Called strike.
Nice pitch.
Colorado won game 1, 3-1.
Wow. Riding that momentum from the Game 7 overtime win versus Fort Wayne.
They had a 2-0 lead after 1 period. Were outshot by 2. 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Ball's hit right back up the middle. Jackson snags it on the mound. Throw to first in time. Nice play for Holden Jackson. 1-3 in the book. Hardhats 1 out away from taking win number 1 in 2 matchups against Post 320. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Austin Lundy, who came in for Crump.
Just shows you how tough our division was with the Colorado Eagles in it for all the fans out there. You know, I'm kind of sad when Colorado's leaving the league, but I'm not too upset we're not going to face them anymore.
First pitch from Jackson.
They're that dominant.
0-1 to Lundy coming in for Ian Crump.
And those Eastern teams have no clue.
Not a clue.
How strong we are.
Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Well, I think back to when South Carolina came here. They took us game 1. We weren't used to their speed.
Yeah. Game
2 and game 3, we outscored them 10-4, beat them 5-2 both nights.
Yeah, and then Colorado beat them in Colorado.
All right. No balls, 2 strikes to Lundy. Hardhats a strike away from the win. And Jackson deals. Caught him looking, strike 3, and that'll do it. A backwards K in the book. That's number 5 for Jackson in relief. And the Hardhats take what started off as a very close rivalry showdown. Turned it into a 21-6 win after 8 innings of regulation.
Well, I want to thank you for having me in the booth tonight, Mark.
Oh, not a problem.
And it was awesome, and I'm sure I'll do it again here this summer.
Oh, we still got the post-game show.
Okay.
And then after that, we can sign off and say goodnight, recap the experience. Be right back in just a few moments, folks, with the postgame. Hardhats take the 21-6 win over Post 320 here on ESPN Rapid City and on Hardhats-TV. Post 22 Hardhats baseball here on ESPN Rapid City is presented by Courtesy Subaru, by Shields, Qdoba Mexican Eats, Renewal by Anderson, Sicky's Garage Burgers and Brews, the Mustang Disaster Cleanup, and the Man Salon. 8 innings of baseball in the books, and what again started off as a very close back and forth affair turned into a 21-6 win for Post 22, and their first win in in 2 matchups in 2 weeks against the Post 320 Stars. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, everybody. From Pete Lean Field, Mark Benetti, joined by the Rapid City Rush head coach and former Toronto Blue Jays prospect, Daniel Tetreault. And Coach, like we talked about multiple times before we get to signing off here, it was a 1-0 game up to the 5th. Both teams traded barbs. Post 320 had the lead 2 innings in a row, and then just kind of melted down. Yeah, the costly error at second base by the 320 second baseman really cost them 2 outs. Infield pop and missed it, and then the floodgates opened for Post 22, and that was the turning point. Errors will cost you, and Post 22 made him really hurt with that error. Well, the Hardhats took a 1-0 lead after Connor King got a 1-out single in the top of the first. He was brought around by a single from Cooper Bowman, and then Jack Sorensen had a sac fly RBI to knock in King. That gave the Hardhats a 1-0 lead, and as we mentioned, they'd maintain that until they got to the top of the 5th inning. They would plate 3 more runs on 3 hits to take a 4-0 lead, but then you got to the bottom of the 5th, and that's when Post 320 came up and really came alive as a leadoff error to Eric Gonzalez started things off, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 hits in a row, capped off with a 2-run blast to Carter Stonecipher. Yeah, you know, they 320 had all the momentum. They were hitting the sticks real well in that inning, and unfortunately they couldn't keep up the lead, and the defense let them down. The Hardhats tied things up at 5-5 in the top of the 6th, thanks to an RBI triple from Cooper Bowman, but then, to a RBI double there from my scorebook's messed up here. Oh no, it was a pass ball that came in to score. That's right, I misread. So Ryan Schmidt got on the base path. Carter Deming came around, a pass ball knocked him in. They tied the game up at 5-5, get to the bottom of the 6th to give up another run, and then ultimately get to the top of the 7th, and that's when they played at 7, batted through 11 different batters, and they didn't look back. Yeah, no, that inning was huge. 7 runs, I mean, what can I say? And there was plenty of pass balls as well and errors, and it was just, you know, not very good fundamental baseball by 320. Cost them. The Hardhats took a 12-6 lead into the top of the 8th, played at an extra 9, got the 3 outs in the bottom of the 8th, and that ended it. So you look at how this game shaped up from inning number 1 to the start of the 5th inning, 1-0 Hardhats. From the 5th inning to the rest of the ball game, 20-6 was the score. Yeah, but the thing is with 320, they haven't beat Post 22 in how many games? It's been a while. They've only beaten them once ever in program history. So. And that's the history I got, but they're fragile. And, you know, they get down on themselves, and it's mental as well, and I think they're having a meeting about that. They were right with Post 22 right till the 5th there, Mark. So they're right there. It's just mental mistakes, and they're fragile, and they don't know what it takes to win yet. They need to get that win to get that confidence going. And I'll tell you this, too, Tets. Watching 320 over the years, there are times where these games have been nail-biting, and then there's an error, an inning full of 5 errors, or there's a stretch of innings where they give up more runs than they should, and then it ultimately leads to a meltdown. This post-320 team is a very competitive team. We saw that tonight with how they battled back, took a lead, kept getting that lead back. But like you said, finishing, that's something you can't teach. You have to experience that. You have to feel that sense of victory that you won't let it get out of your grasp.
And it's, you know, having that confidence and not panicking when you're up as well. You know, I was a young coach, rookie coach last season. I had so many rookies, and you know, we'd be up sometimes against Colorado Eagles or stuff like that, and they come right back. You know, a couple errors here and there, defensive miscues, and that's just being part of a young team and a growing team. And you know, I wish them luck the rest of the way. I think they got a good team, good coaches, and but post 22, their talent really showed at the end. They can really hit the ball and field and pitch. But I was real happy with both teams tonight. It was a great performance and very good baseball, entertaining, and we had a good crowd. And it's all about FUN in my mind. Win or lose, this is a good community here in Rapid City. They love their baseball, and that's what it's all about.
Cooper Bowman, as advertised, what'd you think?
Real good, real talented. He can field, he can hit, and then he can run. So best of luck to him when he goes to University of Hawaii. That's a name I'll definitely be looking on the internet.
Cooper Bowman finished the game 4 for 5, 2 singles, 2 RBI doubles, both knocking in 2 runs. So he had 4 RBIs, 2 triples, I should say. 2 singles, 2 triples, 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored, a walk, and a fly out to center. He did it all today. He fielded, he hit, he ran. It was just a great night, as always, as it is for number 22, Cooper Bowman. Final numbers across the board. Post 22 had 21 runs on 17 hits with 4 errors defensively. Post 320 had 6 runs on 11 hits with 2 errors in defense as well. Tats, it was an absolute blast to have you with us. Thanks for joining us, and here's hoping we can get you on a couple more times before the end of the year.
Definitely. Thanks, Mark, for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, that'll do it for the Rapid City Rush head coach Daniel Tatro, who joined me for the entirety of tonight's broadcast, and that will do it for our broadcast in its entirety. After 8 innings, the Hardhats take the 21-6 win over Post 320. They're not back in action until next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock at the Fitz against Sturgis, and then won't be back in action until the start of a busy weekend next Friday, starting off in their second of 2 rivalry showdowns against the Post 320 Stars. For all of us with the Post 22 Hardhats organization, from General Manager Wayne Sullivan to Head Coach Kelvin Torvey and company, as well as our good friends at Halgo Broadcasting and ESPN Rapid City, Chris Halgo and Ian Rambo, this is Mark Benetti saying so long and good night. We'll see you next Tuesday when the Hardhats take on Sturgis. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekends. Be safe.